they only won 6 games for the year. Newstead and Talbot both won 7, but had far superior percentages to Denali. So they've got a little bit of work to do there. And as I say, I think the Giants, with the side they've put together with a nucleus of Royal Park and Rovers ex-players, I think that they're going to be right in the mix come the end of the year. And you know, Damien Cupido, he is a top goal kicker, and that's something that both these two sides lacked in previous seasons, was somebody that could put a score on the board for them. He's a big man and very hard to get around, and he's still got very good set of hands and a lovely kick. So I'm looking forward to big things from the new Giants coach.
He just brings that presence down in the forward line, doesn't he, Norm? As a defender, you're always going to be weary of where he is. So I'm really interested to see how he can go in the forward line this year and if he can get on the end of a few goals.
Yes, it will be interesting. And the other thing is, they tell me that the Giants side is quick. They're smooth and they're fast runners. So if they can get the ball out and they can move it, they could be a handful for all other sides this year.
You look through how they've been composed, this Giants team. There's only 4 players that came across from Maryborough Rovers as opposed to coming in from other clubs or coming in from Royal Parks. They play their home games here at Bushy. There's a distinct Royal Park flavour to the senior football club or the senior football side of this Giants team.
Yes, there is, and it's only today that I realised that was going to happen, although I was told weeks ago that a number of the Maryborough Rovers boys were heading out to Clunes, and they wanted to remain as Magpies and not become Giants. So it's interesting the way people look at it. It's great to see a lot of Maryborough Rovers supporters walking around today with the new Giants gear on, which I must say it's a striking shirt that they wear and a top that they've got that matches their jumper and their netball uniforms out on the ground, and it's great to see it around and great to see the amount of people that are wearing it. It just shows that they've got plenty of support right from day one.
Which is important for any club, but particularly when you're trying to go it alone and make something happen, it becomes very, very important for what they're trying to do to try and capture that support of, you know, not only the 2 clubs that have been in existence, but then you've also got, you know, just some neutral supporters who might roll up just out of interest sake. I think, you know, it's the only game in the area being played today, so there'll be a bit of neutral interest in just what this looks like.
And a lot of the other clubs today too have probably got scouts, coaches, players here just to see how the Giants are going to stack up, because we know how Talbot were last year. They were very competitive in most matches, and if the Giants can match it with Talbot today, well then we know that there's another side in for a chance in a top 8 position at the end of the year.
Absolutely, and the way that the top 8's shaken out the last couple of years, it's been a pretty tight run thing, especially toward the bottom end of the bracket here in the MCDFNL, so there'll be plenty of competition, and 2 sides that today are hoping to try and find their way into that conversation of the finals teams in 2024 are the Giants and Talbot. That's our match for broadcast. Local Footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. It is great to be here at Hedges Oval this afternoon. Joel Peterson, Cam Power and Norm Jenkin with you. Of course, there is some footy getting underway today, though. The Heathcote League starts things off. The Loddon Valley League begins next week, as does Bendigo footy. So the 3 remaining games in Bendigo football are next week in round 1. We were, of course, at Castlemaine last week for Castlemaine and Maryborough. The Heathcote League today, so Locking to Vermorm United take on Leachville Gunbow in the battle of the 2 northern clubs. Huntley and White Hills, the 2 clubs on the northwest of Bendigo, do battle. Elmore and Colburn Abbey is I guess you'd call it a twilight fixture, given that we've got a day remaining of daylight savings. That's at 5:45 at Elmore tonight, so the 2 local rivals there. And then Mount Pleasant and Heathcote in a grand final replay do battle tonight. I reckon the HDFL has done well, Norm, to set up a round of rivalry type matches. Like, structurally, that's cleverly done in the way that they've structured those matches for round 1. There's a little bit in all of them. You've got a grand final replay. You've got sort of local rivals doing battle with one another. It's a pretty tasty opening round of footy.
Yes, it is, and it's interesting to see that they have gone down the track of a grand final replay, because I know for quite a lot of years clubs were asking for that, but it never happened. And it'll be interesting to see how that one pans out. I mean, Harcourt took Mount Pleasant on in a practice match, and they've lost a number of players from last year's premiership side, but they've picked up 2 or 3 real good footballers, and I like the way Mitch Rovers went about his game that day. He was very good for them around the ground. He's very quick, and he knows where the goals are. But they're they've lost 4 or 5 players, but they've picked up to cover them, and I think them and Heathcote again this year are going to be the 2 sides that are going to have the pressure on them to stay in the contest for the whole season.
Heathcote had the deficiency in the big man department last year. They addressed that in the off season. They would start the premiership season in the HDFL as the raging premiership favourites, I would have thought. I would agree there that
and everybody you talk to has got Heathcote as the raging favourites to start the season, which that puts pressure on the other boys to see who can come up, who can meet the match. It makes Mounts probably that little bit more keener to go out and prove everybody wrong and to get the score on the board. So it'll be interesting to see how those games pan out in the Heathcote League. As you say, good rivals. It's excellent to see rivals playing early in the season to get the crowds behind it and get the supporters supporting their clubs from an early stage. The other one, when you mentioned Bendigo League starting next weekend, Joel, they've also got a bye this year. I wonder how clubs are going to work that and how that's going to work out for the Bendigo Football Netball League, because I think it'll be a long time since they've had a bye.
Yeah, last time they had a bye was the last time Kyneton had a season off.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe
yeah.
it was 2015 or so.
Around about mid
2010s.
Yeah.
It went back to a 19 competition at that point, so of course they've got that. Kyneton went back to the Riddle League and had a big old convincing win last week, which is pretty easy to do when you go back and don't want to play in the major competition.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The Talbot boys walk past us. They look pretty ready to go, don't they, Normie?
Yeah, they are.
Hawks.
Yeah, the Hawks. They're ready to go, and they're well coached too. Their coach is a very experienced coach who has come to them from over in Ballarat. He had time with the Roosters and a very good coach. So they're well coached, and as you say, the only complaint that I can remember from the year that Kyneton had out was that coming to the end of the season, the sides that had the bye in the last couple of weeks and forgot that they had to qualify players struggled a bit, and I think that's something that they'll have addressed already, and they'll realise that when you come to the end of the year, if you had a player that's injured, don't expect to be able to play him in the last couple of games if you've got the bye.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a you had one job about just forgetting to qualify players. How do you stack up the HDFL this season, Cam?
Yeah, I think Heathcote's going to be probably the team to beat by the looks. They were pretty unlucky, I thought, last year not to win it, and I think that losing on grand final day will only give them that extra motivation to try and go one better this year. So really looking forward to it. North Bendigo, another team, lost a couple of players, picked up a couple, so they might be thereabouts as well. So it's going to be a really interesting year, but you're right, it is a tasty round of footy on paper, just round one with all those matchups. So I like that it's kind of got that rivalry set up, or each game's really got a bit of meaning to it today. So, and with no other games of footy on, I think it's well done by the Heathcote League. Yeah, it's a clever bit of scheduling. They've got the benefit of being the first of those 2 competitions to, I guess, get their season underway out of the Heathcote and the Loddon Valley Leagues. Of course, the Loddon Valley, as we said, getting started next weekend. The big news out of Bendigo footy in the last 24 hours, as reported by David Johnston from the Weekly Times, is, and this has been brewing behind the scenes for a little while now, is that the AFL Central Victoria Commission, so essentially the governing body of the administration body, the commission itself will sort of cease to exist essentially fairly soon. That'll be replaced by an advisory committee, so a different structure, probably gives a little bit more autonomy to the leagues to make decisions on their behalf, as opposed to sort of being at the mercy, for want of a better phrase, of the commission. I know that there's been people in senior ranks in the leagues that have wanted that. You look at the case of
Megan Gully trying to get into the Bendigo League and move to the Heathcote League and all the stuff that's gone on there. They weren't happy with how the Commission had acted. I know that there was a little bit of tension between the Bendigo Footy League, and I think anyone who's read one of the papers and seen Carol McKinstry's comments knows that there was a bit of tension between the Bendigo Footy League and the Commission. I think this is a positive step because overwhelmingly the AFL Central Victoria Commission, and this is distinct from the administration staff, so the administration staff that are in there day to day running local footy do a great job, and this isn't a reflection on them, but the Commission itself was invisible, lacked any kind of vision. So, in the 10 years or however long that it's been around, what was their legacy? What did they actually leave behind? I'd say not a lot. You never knew what they were doing, if they did do anything at all. And then when it came to actually making changes for the betterment of football in the region, they sort of just seemed to knock things on the head rather than try and be a force for good. So I think it's a hugely positive step, Noel. I'm not sure about your take on that sort of structural change for football's sake.
Oh, look, I agree that sort of thing, that structural change would be great because it will leave the leagues to organise which way they want to go, bring it forward to the advisory committee and let the advisory committee look at it. Because you look at Maiden Gully wanting to go 2 years ago to the Heathcote League, and that was knocked on the head, but there was no reason given. And then you looked at it this year, Maiden Gully Morong wanted to go to the Heathcote District League, that was knocked on the head, and there was never any reason given as to why these things were going to happen. It would have been unfortunate for the Loddon Valley had those two sides gone. They would have been down to 7 sides, and it would have been interesting to see how that was looked. But if a club thinks that they can be better off in another league, and I think for Maiden Gully's situation, they needed to because they needed to have all their juniors on the field week in and week out, which they did not have in the Loddon Valley. The Commission decided to start up this league with between Heathcote and the Loddon Valley. I don't think that worked too well because players weren't playing where their senior sides were playing. It made it difficult. So I think it'll be interesting. Maybe the clubs will all get together and say, right, well, this is what we've got to do. I think down the track, we won't be talking about this. We'll be talking about new structures completely where I know that at Harcourt, some of the boys have done it. They've gone back and they've looked at the Bendigo League, the North Central League, the Maryborough Castlemaine, the Heathcote, the Loddon Valley, and they've said, right, let's have a 4 or 5 tiered comp and sides from out of that. And I know talking to players at Harcourt, they realise that somewhere down the track, you're going to have to travel further to have a game of football, to have a competitive game of football. And maybe, it's hard with Maryborough Castlemaine being in the Ballarat zone and the others being in the Central Highlands, but maybe somewhere down the track there'll be an oversight of all country football in Victoria, and that could take place.
So AFL Victoria needs to get themselves sorted here because essentially the burden sits with them around some of this structural change, and the governing body's oversight of football in this region has been particularly poor, but I think their complicity in letting it just kind of slide along and this problem fester. There is a clear path to a 4-division structure within the region. That would involve some clubs maybe leaving the region, the Lextons of the world. Maybe there isn't a path for them to be involved in a sort of Bendigo-centric structure because they are so much closer to Ballarat. But there needs to be a bit of push and pull between the Bendigo administration body and the Ballarat administration body. And probably there's someone in the middle that needs to bring them together to say, hey, there is clearly structural change needed across football in Victoria. It needs a bit of a rethink. It needs a bit of a simplification. And as Don Moran told us last week on our broadcast, division, promotion, relegation stuff has been the way of metro footy for decades.
It has, that's right.
Why is community footy immune to the same the same sort of thing?
I think the biggest thing with community football has been in up until the last probably 10, 15 years has been the travel. the travel that's required. Now,
Once, maybe once a season though. Like if so, let's say you're Harcourt and you get put into a division with Leachville Gumbauer, for instance. You've got to do that trip once.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. No, look, I agree wholeheartedly on that, Joel, and I think that clubs, they've been that used, like the Maryborough Castlemaine for a lot of years, was that used to being that compact, that the furthest trip that you had to go if you were at Harcourt, Campbell's Creek, was out to Denali or out to Talbot. Then we got Voca into the league, so that meant you went a little bit further, but it wasn't out of our way because it was only just the other side of Talbot if you went that way. And I think that now people are starting to realise that if you want to have competitive football and netball, because I think country netball, it wouldn't matter what leagues are in, the country netball would be competitive.
Yep.
I think most of the sides in our league could go up against netball sides in the Loddon Valley and Heathcote League and probably be reasonably competitive of what I've seen in practice matches in years gone by. And I think that people are starting to realise that, you only look at it, as I said earlier, 26 sides have gone into recess since 2000, not to be seen again. And I think clubs are looking that if you want to be competitive, you've got to look to travel, and you've only got to look, Toolie Buckman and Angatang have amalgamated. They're what, 50, 60k apart, if not more.
How long is the break?
So, you've got to look to amalgamate, or you've got to be prepared to travel, and I think that's going to be the way of the future.
And there needs to be some leadership on it from somewhere to make the call to bring teams together. The reserves has been run and won. Talbot winners 16-8, 104 to the Giants 2-5-17. The senior footy clash isn't too far away. The Maryborough Giants making history. They enter the fray in the MCDFNL this afternoon. Joel Peterson, Cam Power, Norm Jenkin with you. We're at Hedges Oval for round one of the Maryborough Castlemaine District Football Netball League season. A quick break and we'll have all the senior football action not too far away. Stick with us. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Cupido is wearing 59 now.
Is that his shirt size or his jumper?
Wow, based on when I went in there, I don't think they had half the players allocated with their jumper sizings or anything.
That's funny.
Obviously they got their 2 clearances through because Bravo's on the team sheet.
Yeah.
And that other one that I put on the bottom's the other one they were trying to get through.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's that Talbot Barco.
Yeah.
Well, Barco Talbot.
Yeah.
No, it is. His first name's Talbot.
Yeah. He should play
Which
for
is
Talbot.
classic. Yeah.
If he does something well, he's going to get a run today. He's on the wrong team.
Just save you good material for when we're on air.
First bounce, you might throw into you or you?
No. You do the first. Oh, you do 1 and 3. I'll do 2 and 2. Round one of the Maryborough Castlemaine District Footy Netball League season at Hedges Oval. It is the Maryborough Giants who play in the competition for the first time. The amalgamated Royal Park Maryborough Rovers Club taking on Talbot to kick the season off. Joel Peterson, Cam Power, Norm Jenkin with you. Great to have your company, whether you're listening on 101.5 FM throughout Central Victoria or streaming wherever you are right around the world. The two clubs are out there at the moment warming up. The umpires are out there as well. The netballers getting set for the A-grade contest too, and of all things, Norm, the Maryborough Brass Band is here and they are ready to make a big sound, quite literally, because they are going to belt out a rendition of the Maryborough Giants song, which is a nice little touch this afternoon too.
It is, and it's a nice tune, that Giants song. I quite enjoy it when you
It'll
hear
be
it
stuck
on
in my head for a week.
when you hear it on the TV. But yeah, it's great to see that they've done something like that. At least we won't have them sitting in the grandstand beside us, happened a couple of times at Princes Park, and we try to go to air and they'd start up. So it'll be good. Great to see, and it's good to see that the Giants have thought up these ideas and just something a little extra to make it a big day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an historic occasion, and it is moments like this, Cam, that you just get to sit back and think, yeah, you know, it's pretty cool. It's kind of the where were you when moment, and Maryborough footy gets its own today.
Absolutely, it's going to be something you can look back on in a few years, Joel, and say we were the first people to call the Maryborough Giants in action in what should be a fantastic game of footy. I think both sides are pretty evenly matched too, so I'm really expecting such a good, tight, congested game of footy. And I know before the game, listening to what the Giants were saying, they're going to look to utilise the space and run pretty hard. So it'll be interesting to see who's the fitter of the two sides, I reckon, because I reckon that come late in the game, that may pay a bit of a fact.
So 3 games last year, of course, because Royal Park and Rovers were both in the competition. Talbot won them all, 105 points over Royal Park in round 3, and then 2 thrillers, by 5 over the Rovers in round 6 and by 6 over Royal Park in round 16 of last season. So there is a little bit in this game this afternoon to be excited about. Both teams are out there, not too far away from us, in front of the club rooms here at Hedges Oval, tucked away in the right forward pocket, down toward, I guess, the Talbot end of the ground, if you like, the hill and the embankment all around the ground here. You've got the cricket nets and the netball court up toward the Maryborough end of the ground, so it is quite a picture. And we've now got the Australian National Anthem. Nice work from the Maryborough Brass Band, belting out the national anthem. Both teams have made a bit of a guard of honour. Only problem is there was no one to guard through.
Here's that Giants song.
They're ready to make that Giants song hum as well. I don't know that they wouldn't never have played it before. This would have had to be on at rehearsals.
Yes.
Nice work from the brass band. That is a very tidy bit of work. Normie, who have you got winning this one and why?
Well, the Maryborough Giants are unknown to us at this stage. But looking at a lot of the players down there, the likes of Matty Walker, Mitch Wilden, Jacob Rollison, all got plenty of experience, and with the Royal Park side in recent years, as has Reece Wagstaff, a very good young player coming through. Look at the Talbot side, and there's plenty of experience there. Marcus Ashmore, coach of Royal Park last year, has gone to Talbot, as has Reece Egan that played with Royal Park last year. Maguire, very good player for them. Trent Barras, very good forward, and will have to be watched today. Lachlan Griffiths also good. I think just because they've played together for a number of years, I'm looking at the Talbot Hawks just in what should be a good close contest.
The Giants have had the first win of the day, Joel. They've won the toss and they are going to kick to the Talbot end of the ground, which is the right-hand side of your radio dial.
Yep, absolutely. So that's a nice start. You never want to lose the toss. First time of asking. Who have you got this afternoon, Cam?
I'm looking at the games, and I think looking at the games results last year and taking into effect, I think Talbot, I've just got them, but I'm expecting it to be 10 points either way, but I think it's going to be a cracking game, but I'm leaning towards Talbot. I reckon they've just got a little bit of height around the ground, and it'd be a big ask for a new side to come up and win first up. So
Certainly hope it's a good game this afternoon. I can't imagine that not being too much of a blowout. Both teams will be able to keep it close throughout the course of the afternoon. Good crowd in too, Normie.
It's a very good crowd for first upper for the Giants, and it was excellent incentive from the club to approach the league and say we wanted to play a standalone game Saturday before the season starts, when there's very few other leagues playing within country Victoria. And I think that the joint presidents, Kate Balzan and Mark Raven, are to be commended for the work they've put in and the way that they've brought Royal Park and Maryborough Rovers together.
Yeah, absolutely. No mean feat building a new footy club, even when there's two existing clubs to sort of form the framework and a little bit of something to build from. But it is an historic day for footy in Maryborough as the Maryborough Giants step out in the MCDFNL for the first time this afternoon. A couple of kids just need to vacate the field. The two teams are headed to the benches and to their starting positions, and they will get MCDFNL season 2024 underway here at Hedges Oval. Overcast skies, not too much wind to speak of. Might be a shower or two drifting across the ground throughout the afternoon, but a nice day for footy on the whole as this MCDFNL season 2024 gets underway. Of course, they're all chasing the two-time defending premiers, the Harcourt Lions. And these two teams are trying to make the leap into finals footy. Talbot having finished 9th last season. Royal Park were 13th. Rovers 11th. And they're both hoping to take a step this season towards some action in September. Let's get it underway. Round 1 in the MCDFNL season. The goal umpire down at the Maryborough end of the ground is taking an absolute eternity to get ready, but we are set in the centre. It's a big, big sound in Maryborough football. The Giants make their debut in the MCDFNL. They call the opening bounce. Here's Cam Power.
It'll be Collicote and Broad to go at it. And Collicote got the first hit down. Ball spills to the bottom of the pack. Talbot looked to get that first clearance. Free kick out there is going to go the way of the Giants. Might have been some holding. It'll end up in the hands of Reece Wagstaff, who's quick to chip the ball into the middle of the ground. Over the head of his teammate though. Talbot are able to clear out with Patterson. Coming wide is Dylan Page of Talbot. They're going backwards to go forward. Page's kick come off the side of the boot. Unable to take the mark was Maguire. It then spills to ground and a big pack of players will dive on top of it. About 60 out from goal and we'll do it all again.
And Lachlan Ratcliffe has got the job on Damien Cupido for Talbot today.
Collicote reaches up, able to knock it away from Jack Broad in the ruck for the Giants. Umpires picked out a red-hot free kick there, and Collicote will take it. It's Kieran Johns who was on the bottom of the pack. And now handball off to Brass, who kicked it straight back to Broad, who is just that, chips to half forward. The Giants will enter the 50. Kick goes looking for Rollison. He can't trap it in the right forward pocket in front of the club rooms. It'll be tossed back into play. 35 around from the Giants' goal. No score on the board as yet.
Yes, Ratcliffe nowhere near as big as Cupido, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays him at full-back today.
So boundary umpire will throw the ball back into play. Trying to take it out of the ruck there. It was Wagstaff. And it just bobbles around umpire across his arm, says I'll have it again. Going up again. Wagstaff was able to knock it to ground. No one able to really get much clean possession at the Talbot. Talbot fire out a handball wide, but it's chopped off by Goreski. All just bouncing around on the ground. Collicote's in there, trying to get it out. Oh, nice little collision there. No one able to take any clean possession though. just bouncing around like a pinball at the bottom of this pack. No real clean possession from either side. Umpire letting him go though. Talbot trying to emerge. It's picked up now. Here's Bates. Gets some space. Chips into the pocket. Finds a teammate. And that will be Rollison, who will line up for the first goal of the Maryborough Giants.
Yes, this will go down in history. The first goal for the Giants, if he kicks it, and he's usually a very good shot at goal, was in Royal Park's goal kickers week in and week out in the last couple of years.
Not sure he was the intended target, but he'll take the mark on his chest. 35 out. Not too much of an angle to deal with. Rollison comes in, slowly steps on the right. It's swinging. It doesn't swing enough, and it is the first score of the day, which is a minor score. One behind of the Giants. Talbot yet to score early stages of this one in the first quarter.
Yes, it was a scrappy build-up then, but when young Bates got out in the open, he was able to pinpoint a teammate.
So the Hawks bring it back into play. Barras and Maguire link up. Maguire, runner-up in the best and fairest last year for the Hawks, kicks a long ball down the eastern side, roved nicely by Porter, handball back into the mess. Govan was coming through for the Giants, who regained possession. Broad's brought down, good tackle. Umpire says mine. Centre of the ground here at Hedges Oval. Giants on the board first. They lead at one behind. The Hawks yet to score. We've played about 4 minutes in the opening term.
Knock forward. Talbot try and go forward through Egan. No able to get umpires, then pulled out a free kick, which is going to go the way of Egan, who was being held. He's got some options on the close swing. Decides to go straight down the middle. Kick falls about 10 metres short of intended target, but Talbot are able to clear it up. It's in the hands of Ashmore. Ashmore wheels around onto his right, sends it into the hot spot. No one able to get clean possession out there. Lurking down there for Talbot is Ward. That's Matt Ward. And the ball goes close to the boundary. Huge pack of players that is diving around this one. Umpire letting him play. And eventually he brings it in and says, my footy will ball it up about 10 metres out from goal for the Talbot Hawks.
So first decisive inside forward 50 for Talbot. Osborne now along the boundary line. Centering kick. Finds a target. Mark taken by Marshall. The co-captain for the Hawks got it. He's only 20 metres from home and he's directly in front.
Yes, that was a good passage of play by the Talbot boys there. They cleared a path for Trent Barras, and it was a lovely pass.
6 goals from 15 appearances last year for Alex Marshall. For the first of season 2024, he makes no mistake. And Talbot on the board first here at Hedges Oval. 1 straight 6. The Giants 1 behind. 5 played opening term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. That's thanks to score sponsor Parsons Towing, Castlemaine.
Yes, that all came from Reece Egan then, who put the ball out in front of Marcus Ashmore, and he's an excellent user of the football when he gets hold of the football, and that was no exception there. Got it into Talbot's forward line. They were able to get a throw in, and from there they were able to break free and create a passage for a lovely pass from Trent Barras into Alex Marshall's path.
Ball back into the middle again. Good hot start to this one. Just waiting. Not sure what he's waiting for, but eventually he comes in to ball it up. Collicoat and Broad to go at it again. 1 down, spinning out of trouble. Nice little handball there came from Egan. Talbot go inside forward 50. Unable to take a mark down there. It spills out the back and the Giants are able to clear. That kick come wide from Epworth.
Epworth bouncing ball out to half back. Looking for Varco out there. They couldn't keep it in. Epworth goes back in. Still can't find a clear possession. Walker's in there for the Giants. Umpire says we'll ball it up right at the junction of the 50 and the boundary out at right half forward. Talbot into attack, having kicked the first goal of the game. We're about 6 minutes into this contest. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Joel Peterson, Cam Power, Norm Jenkin with you. Round 1 of the MCDFNL season. Broad takes it out of the ruck. Clearing kick for the Giants is only as far as Barras, who kicks it back into the pocket. Govan has a play at it for the Giants. Keeps it in the back pocket. He's run down, dropped the footy, caught holding the ball. It was an easy pick off for Jason Atkins, who wins the free kick deep in the right forward pocket for the Hawks.
It won't be an easy shot at goal for this. He's tucked right on the boundary. Perfect for a left footer. It'll be, you would think, a banana for the right footer, but well, let's see how he handles it.
So the man they call Turbo, he turned on the afterburners there and really got moving. For the second goal for the Hawks. Check side from tight up against the boundary line. Well, he's kicked it onto the netball courts and didn't go through any of the posts. So he went for the snap, as you called, Norm, and fair to say, didn't execute it as he would have liked. It's gone across the face and out of bounds on the foot.
I think he actually hit the ball fair in the belly, which sent it straight on its path instead of on a boomeranging angle.
That's what happens in round one, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So it's Cody Wright that's got it. He plays on and then chips it straight to Ashmore of Talbot, and he's about 50 out. Ashmore onto the right, might have been going for goal, sends it right to the top of the square. Defensive mark is taken for the Giants, and they'll clear it out of defence. They get it all the way up, and now they're out of defensive 50. Just playing around a little bit out there, and unable to really get away was Talbot Varco. Had a bit of space if he was able to get through, but the boundary line actually won out there, and it'll be thrown out. 60 out from home from the Talbot goal. Far wing here at Hedges Oval. It is Maryborough Giants and Talbot. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
And that's Talbot Football Netball Club, not Talbot Varco, by the way, Cam, who's playing for the Giants, if you can keep up with that. Ball inside forward 50 for the Giants, and Cody Wright took it. He was quickly tackled. We'll have a ball up, 45 metres out from the Talbot goal. They've been doing all the attacking the last couple of minutes. Broad in ruck, wins it down to Ward Wright for the Giants. Good tackle there from Archer Patterson. Knocked the footy loose. After it is Bates for the Giants. Handball to Patterson. Kicks down the eastern side wing. Long footy to no one in particular. It'll bounce all the way out the back where it's scooped up by Maguire. He looks to cut the ball back in field. Nice kick. And the Hawks can build something through the wing.
That they do. They chip forward. Mark's been taken there by by Matt Ward. So Ward's got it. Dishes off a handball to a teammate. That's the run that comes forward. That's Maguire. Inside forward 50 it goes. The intended target was Ashmore, unable to get it. And the Giants clear it out of defence. All just bouncing around. It's a flying shot out of the pack which comes from Griffiths, and it bounces towards goal through for a minor score. So Talbot moved their total along to 1-1-7. The Maryborough Giants are one behind. We played 8 minutes in the first quarter. Jason Westcott Builder, score sponsor, local footy live at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, and the big pleasing point for Talbot at this stage is that when they get the ball into that forward 50, their forwards are that hungry that they're not letting it out, and they're keeping the pressure on the Giants the whole time.
Saw Cody Wright come to the bench a couple of moments ago with a bit of claret coming from the nose, so he's just sorting himself out on the bench at the moment. The captain, in fact, one of their better players in the early stages, Michael Epworth, coming to the bench as well. Hawks here on the wing, almost a chance to try and keep that footy alive, not being able to in the end. Now at half back, the Giants can work, or half forward, the Giants can work things out. Ball spills away to Murray Bond. His shot's away to the right, so a couple of behinds on the board. It was quick play though from end to end for the Giants. 2 behinds. Talbot 1-1-7. We played 10 minutes in the opening term.
So ball brought back into play for Talbot, and they're going to get themselves out of trouble with a high tackle, which is going to go the way of Sam Hitchings. Onto the far wing they go. They've got options in the middle, Talbot. They decide to continue down the far wing here. Hitchings tips and finds a teammate right in front of the scoreboard here at Hedges Oval. Far wing. Again, the chip short. It finds a teammate in York. So York's got it. True centre wing position. York gets to get and go. He finds a kick, which is a turnover, straight to the Giants. Now they can wheel and go. Into the middle they go. Intended kick looking for Goreski, but that's also turned over. So a little bit of turnover footy at the moment from both sides. Talbot have got it. Handball comes out wide. Now they're going to go forward. Good mark taken at centre half forward. It's in the hands of Reece Egan. Egan's about 55 from home. It looks like he might be fancying himself here. No, he turns, chips into the pocket. That's a beautiful kick. Finds a teammate, 35 metres out. Not too much of an angle to deal with. Good play from Talbot, and it is in the hands of Lachlan Griffiths, who will line up for goal. That was good
poor close checking by the Giants there. You either had Griffiths or you had Atkins. He had 2 to choose from, and Reece Egan picked the right one closer to goal.
So Griffiths comes in on the right. It starts right, but it swings back nicely, and it's through for a goal. So Talbot get their second. They move to 2-1-13. The Maryborough Giants are 2 behinds. We have played 10.5 minutes in the opening quarter. Thanks to score sponsor Bendigo City Framers, where local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, that was unfortunate there for the Giants up the other end of the ground. Murray Bond running into an open goal. It's a goal that he'd kick every other day of the season, but wasn't able to do it. Pressure on him early on to get the Giants on the board with a goal, and wasn't able to. The Hawks took it down the other end of the ground, and Reece Egan has plenty of it in the centre of the ground, was able to pinpoint a teammate.
Sharp bit of work from Murray Bondo with the boots though, Normie. Bright
was,
orange
yeah,
boots
well,
to match the orange of the new kit for the Maryborough Giants. A couple of them out there this afternoon. Wagstaff goes up in ruck, wins it down, but Johns had to turn tackler in the middle for the Giants, who yet to kick their first goal in their first game at MCDFNL footy. Of course, this merged club, Royal Park and Rovers over here in Maryborough. Great to have you with us. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Joel Peterson, Norm Jenkins, Cam Powell with you for the call this afternoon. Declan Wagstaff in ruck for the Giants. Just went the open palm slap to try and clear the contest. It eventually comes out right, a handball, straight up and down in the middle of the ground still. Diving in on top of the football for the Hawks was Judd Troon, coming back off an ACL that saw him miss all of last season. He can't get it moving, and it's going to be a ball up just forward of the centre circles for the Giants, kicking to the Talbot end here in this opening term.
Collicote won it down. It was taken by York. Ball spills out forward for the Giants. Wright's in there, picks it up on the right, sends it towards the top of the goal square. Cupido's down there, getting back to lend a hand. Couldn't quite fire it. It spills out, trying to get a little bit of an aerial off the goal. The Talbot player took on the tackle, dropped the ball right in the goal square, and that is holding the ball. And it will result in the first shot at goal, which will be Rollinson for the Maryborough Giants. And he shouldn't miss from here. 10 metres out, directly in front. Pops it through, and the first goal of the Maryborough Giants goes to Rollinson. And that is a goal that they needed. It is 2-1-13, playing 1-2-8, 13 minutes gone in the opening quarter here at Hedges Oval. JBR re-stumping score sponsor. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
And that'll go down in the Giants' history, first goal in the MCDFNL. And it was good work there by Cody Wright. He was on the move from a handball and a lovely kick forward. It took two players to bring it to ground to stop Cupido having any advantage there, but the Talbot player, just not aware of who was around him, had hold of the ball, got tackled and just let it go. So good pressure from the Giants, and they're right in this contest.
And when they do trivia at the pub in Maryborough in a couple of weeks, Norm, it'll be who kicked the first behind for the Maryborough Giants, Jacob Rollison. Who kicked the first goal for the Maryborough Giants?
Jacob Rollison.
Jacob Rollison will be the answer to every trivia question. There'll be a free kick out of the middle here.
Yeah, I think there was 5 in the centre square there, so Ruckman will get the free kick.
So Collicote hands it off to Barris, who kicks inside the forward 50 through a couple of pairs of hands, including Osborne, who couldn't take it. Clearing kick into the middle of the ground is tracked down and nicely done. Ball back in the hands of Brass now, who can load up on that left boot, send it inside the forward 50, kicks it to space in the left forward pocket. Chasing out after it there was Atkins, couldn't keep it inside the field of play. And it'll be thrown back in. 45 metres around from the Talbot goal. They kick to the Maryborough end in this opening term. They lead at 2-1 to 1-2. We've played 16 minutes.
Yes, it was unfortunate for Atkins then. He should have attacked that football instead of waiting for it to bounce.
Ball thrown back into play. Knocking it down, Wright's lurking for the Giants. Might have tackled without the ball, but he's able to pick it up. And he took on the tackle, and he's been done for a throw. It was a thrower holding the ball, take your pick. So York's got it for Talbot. He chips down the line. He'll find a teammate that'll take the mark. He can wheel around onto his right. They've got plenty of options inside this crowded forward 50. It's in the hands of Griffiths. Griffiths' kick is chopped off nicely for the Giants, and they'll look to clear out of defence.
Lockie Bates, vice captain for the Giants. Athletic defender, drives it long outside the defensive 50. Rollison's up near the wing, brought it down. Cody Wright chased it to the boundary line, couldn't keep it in for Maryborough. It'll be tossed back into play. In between, right on centre wing on this broadcast side, the western side here at Hedges Oval, the Derby Road side of the ground, if you like. Burrowing in after the football there, Maguire for the Hawks. In fact, it was Matt York, who was fighting for the footy, it got knocked out of his grasp, but it'll be tossed back in the same spot.
We'll do it all again. Not a lot of clean possession in this one early. Both sides really feeling this out. Ball spills out for the Giants, unable to take clean possession though in there.
Getting a free for in the back.
It is going to be a free kick, which is going to go the way of the Giants. It's in the hands of Reece Wagstaff. Wagstaff goes in the middle of the ground. Dangerous kick. Couldn't quite intercept the mark was Tui. It spills out wide. Now the Giants will go inside forward 50. Down in towards the Cupido direction. One-handed. He's taken it. Wow, he was pretty big and strong and he was able to juggle it in the right hand. And he'll go back for goal. His first look at the footy this afternoon. 45 metres out. Not too much of an angle to deal with. Not much breeze to play with out there either. So Cupido will line up to put the Giants in front in this one. He comes in, looks nice and steady. On the left, it's high, and it hasn't. Has it bothered the scorers? Yes, it's just snuck through for a minor score. So the Giants move to 139, Talbot 2-113. 16 minutes gone in the first quarter here at Hedges Oval.
Out there in the time-honoured number 59, Damien Cupido. Haven't seen much of him early, Norm, but you can see what a threat he's going to be.
He will be a big threat throughout the league all year.
Nice ball movement from the Hawks. Egan brings it into the centre of the ground with a kick to Luke Kemp, 5-time interleague representative of the MCDFNL. Down the line, Brad Dunbar sends it to half forward. Ward crashes the pack. In fact, it was Atkins. Couldn't take the mark. Spills inside the forward 50. Ashmore's out after it for the Hawks, out toward the boundary line. Kick into the pocket. Well, it's all Giants back there, but a nervous moment in defence. Great tackling from Page. Almost won it back for the Hawks and did. They'll get the footy in the forward pocket. It'll be a Hawks free kick. And 50 metres. Or is that player going to be told to pick his boot up? I think the latter.
Yeah, Plyer's got to put his boot back on. He was caught cold there, had the ball, just dropped it on the ground and then remonstrated with the umpire after the free was given away. Had nothing to remonstrate about, made no attempt whatsoever.
So it might be Jack Tui with the footy. Left foot shot on goal is there. He celebrates, muted applause from the supporters, but it's another goal for the Hawks. They get their third of the contest. 3-1-19, the Giants are 1-3-9. We've played 20 minutes in the opening term. Local footy lives at fresh. Bendigo City Framers, score sponsor.
I think you'll find it was actually Jason Atkins that kicked the goal in the end, down in the goal square now. He's just walked all the way back there.
No.
Nah, Jack Tui.
Tui, was it?
Yep, definitely had a 2 in his number. And definitely had a beard.
Oh, fair enough. Good work there by Talbot. An excellent tackle, as I said. He pinned the arms and the Giant player had no chance whatsoever to get rid of it.
So a 10-point lead early in this one to Talbot. Giants will take the clearance forward though, as they look to get the response. Going in hard there was Murray Bond, and he may have given away a free kick in the process for a high tackle, which will go the way of the Hawks. So it'll be in the hands of Severino.
He's had a good start for the Hawks down at centre-half back today.
Got a few options. He goes wide. It's not his greatest kick. Wright was tracking it, but it just went over his head. It's picked up nicely, though, by Ashmore. Ashmore feeds off the handball to Maguire. Maguire then got it back. That was from Hitchings. Good play this. Talbot go inside forward 50, but some good play, and it is an intercept mark in defence in the hands of Jacob Plyer for the Maryborough Giants.
Yes, that was a poor kick forward. Then he kicked it to 3 Giant players and no Talbot player.
Jacob Plyer, he had a good grip on that one. No issues with the contact.
Where's the brass band when you need them with the bubble?
Yeah, well, I think they packed up and went home earlier. I was hoping they were still hanging around, to be honest with you. Cody Wright at right half back for the Giants. Drives a long footy down the wing, broad up in the pack. Got a hand to it, couldn't bring it in. Severino sprawls forward to try and keep the footy in the field of play. It'll be tossed back in between the interchange gates on this western side here at Hedges Oval. 21 minutes through the opening term. It's Talbot by I've got it at, well, the scoreboard should have it at 10 points. It's definitely 10 points, 3-1 to 1-3.
Giants work it forward. They turn it over, though. It's going to end up in the hands of Bates. Bates has got it. Chips inside forward 50. Cupido hard out on the lead's got it. He doesn't want to go back from goal. He chips over and finds a teammate. Good play that from Cupido. Unselfish. And the Giants will line up probably 30 metres out directly in front. Try and bring it back to a 4-point ball game. It'll be a tough shot from goal for here, though, Norm. Maybe Cupido, I'm not sure, he might have had a better angle.
I think he was a better angle, but a lot closer in this shot at goal.
Well, the Giants will come in, they load up for goal. And he's got it, he celebrates hard. So the Maryborough Giants get the goal. It is Talbot Varco. That slots the goal and it's back to a 4-point game. So it is 2-3-15. Playing 3-1-19. We've played 21 minutes in the opening quarter. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, where local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, I like seeing the ball in the hands of Lachlan Bates. That was a lovely pass to Damien Cupido. Put it out in front, let Cupido run onto it. The defender had no chance whatsoever of knocking that ball away. And as we said, Cupido unselfish there. Chipped the ball across to somebody he felt was in a better position, and Varco made no mistake.
Thoughts of MCDFNL Life member Norm Jenkin with you. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Joel Peterson, Cam Power calling the footy for you this afternoon. John Hunter here pushing all the right buttons and wearing some god-awful pink jacket. I don't know what that's about. Back in the centre, Osborne, second year at the Hawks. Wins it down in ruck. Egan's after it. He threw it out of that contest. It'll be a free kick to the Giants in the centre circles. They'll be able to bring it out wide. Cody Wright's got plenty of space out here on this broadcast side. Declan Wagstaff waiting to come back onto the ground. Wright kicks inside the forward 50. It was a nicely weighted kick in the end. Trying to get across to it was Archer Patterson. Couldn't keep it in as he was thrown across the boundary line in the tackle and near the juncture of the 50 in the boundary in front of the club rooms. It'll be tossed back in. Giants into attack. They trail by 4. Closing stages, opening term.
Cody Wright's been busy for the Giants. He seems to be involved in all their attacking play at the moment. Ball spills out. Bravo's got it. Just got boot to ball. Goes inside forward 50. Talbot can try and clear out in the hands of Osborne. Spills out wide. Now it's going to be sent inside 50 from Goreski. Bouncing ball. And Talbot are happy to see that one over the boundary line. Get it thrown in 25 metres out from the Maryborough Giants goal where they are inside attack. 23 minutes gone in the opening quarter here at Hedges Oval in Maryborough.
Ball spun back in. Cupido in ruck, gets rid of his opponent, tries to break a 4th tackle, a 5th tackle. He's gone and he's not particularly happy with it. He just tried to absolutely bullock his way through them all. And neither the Talbot defence nor the umpire were having any bit of that. Douglas kicks across to defensive 50. Bouncing ball out in front of Hitchings in the long sleeves. The 2022 best and fairest comes into the centre of the ground and finds Osborne. Hawks moving it nicely. That's an absolute shocker of a kick. Towed at 12 metres. Marked by Cody Wright for the Giants. Inside the 50. Lead up from Goreshi, who marks 45 from home. It'd test him the journey. He doesn't have a lot of options presenting, so he might have to go back and take his kick, Norm.
Yes, Talbot have done very well here, clogging up that forward line, giving Cupido nowhere to lead, and so Carson Dureski, who's a noted goal kicker, he should be able to go back and slot this.
Yeah, kicked plenty across his career. Kicked 6 in round 5 last year against Newstead. He launches that one. He's kicked it out of bounds on the 4, so you and I have absolutely mozzed him, Norm.
We have, but no, very good footballer Carson was with Maryborough Rovers. His father is a Berry Power medalist.
Oh, it's a dangerous kick back in though from Egan, and they have to play around, and he's able to wheel it through. Rush behind goes the way of the Giants, and they move to 2-4-16. Playing Talbot 3-1-19. They look to bring the ball back into play. Hitchings has got it on the far side of the ground. Juggling the mark on the far side for Talbot. They just probably look to try and slow things down here in the quarter. Can come back, and the umpire's plucked out a 50-metre penalty. Didn't see what that one was for, Norm.
Well, I think he felt that Cupido continued walking forward on the mark instead of standing.
So that advances Talbot up to true centre wing position. They fire off a handball. Now they look to go inside forward 50. Can they get a lead up and a mark? It goes right to the top of the square. Almost were able to take it. Was Atkins. It spills out the back. And I think Atkins may have kicked the goal in the end. He has. No, he has got a goal. I thought the Giants players bringing the ball back into play for a second then, Joel. But Atkins ends up with the goal. And that is a very costly 50-metre penalty which got the ball from defence all the way up to a goal late in the quarter. 26 minutes gone in this one. Talbot 4-1-25. They lead it by 9 points. The Giants 2-4-16. Score sponsor Parsons Towing, Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, Atkins has been dangerous in that forward line for Talbot in the first quarter, and that was good body work. He let the ball go over the top. Yeah, runner in the... He let the ball go over the top and then was able to turn around and run onto it.
Second free out of the middle. Broad for the Giants takes it. Flares it wide to Declan Wagstaff. To right, who, as Cam said earlier, has been involved in everything from an attacking sense for the Giants. Pokes it inside the 50 and finds Bond. And Bond can go the distance from downtown here if he so chooses. Time running out in this opening term. Talbot by 9 points. Only go back behind the mark in the end, so he kind of hemmed himself into only the one option, which was to kick to the pocket and find Plyer. And Plyer is going to have to kick after the quarter time siren. So from in front of the club rooms for the Giants, you'll have to kick from just inside the 50 and just inside the boundary. It'll take a hell of an effort if he can slot this. And he kicks an absolute sack out of bounds on the full. A hell of an effort is what it required. A hell of an effort is not what it got. There was plenty of effort, just the execution wasn't quite up to scratch on that occasion from Jacob Plyer. An enterprising opening term from both of these teams. It was plenty physical. It wasn't the cleanest start of all time, and Talbot have made the most of it on the scoreboard. The visitors, they lead 4-1-25 to the Maryborough Giants 2-4-16 at quarter time. No multiple goal scorers in the game, and the trivia question for the Giants, who kicked the first goal in their MCDFNL history, was Jacob Rollerson, who slotted their opening goal in the 14th minute of the contest. Talbot by 9 points. It's round one in the MCDFNL from Hedges Oval in Castlemaine. More very shortly. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
In fact, it's Maryborough.
Yeah, in Castlemaine.
What did I say?
In Castlemaine.
Hedges up.
Quarter time at Hedges Oval in Maryborough, and it is the Talbot Hawks leading 4-1-25 to the Giants of Maryborough 2-4-16 in their first outing in the MCDFNL. Great to have you with us, however and wherever you're listening on 101.5 FM in Central Victoria via the TuneIn or the Community Plus radio apps, wherever you are right around the world. Joel Peterson, Cam Power and Norm Jenkin with you. John Hunter here pushing all the right buttons. Quarter time in this opening game of the MCDFNL season, and it is the Hawks by 9 points. All single goal kickers: Alex Marshall, Jack Toohey, Jason Atkins and Lachlan Griffiths. Lachlan Griffiths for the visitors, and for the hosts, the Giants, Jacob Rollison kicked their first, and the aptly named Talbot Varco kicked the second goal for the Giants in that opening term. Talbot by 9. Norm, who have you liked so far?
Well, I've liked the way their midfield's gone about it. Ashmore and Egan, Reece Egan and Mark Ashmore have been on top through the midfield and getting the ball forward. Griffiths and Atkins down forward have been very lively. Trent Barras has also done very well through the midfield. Hitchings running out of defence has been good too. And in the ruck, I think Osborne and Collicote have taken it on 50-50, and I think they've won the ruck contest so far.
And Cam, first of all, a score from the HDFL that you've got. Huntley and White Hills doing battle over there.
Yeah, it is quarter time. It is Huntley 3-3-21, White Hills 5-1-31 at the end of the first quarter.
Very good stuff. Who have you liked for the Giants?
I think Cody Wright's probably been the best on ground for my liking so far. He's been terrific. Reece Wagstaff has been in and under a little bit. I'm also liking Carson Goreski's game. And the captain, Johns, is doing some nice things too.
Second term underway here. Broad and Collicote in ruck. Broad goes up early for the Giants. Going to be a free kick, and it will go to the big fella. In the black and red boots. Got the shin guard on that right boot. He launches it up toward half forward. Goreshi flies, can't take the mark. Scooped up by the Hawks defence. Page now with a kick that slides on the dewy turf down the line and goes out of play. Just a little bit of light rain flooding across the ground here, and it'll be tossed back in on this broadcast side, the western side here at Hedges Oval. No change to that quarter time score. Only half a minute played. 4-1 plays 2-4. It's the Hawks by 9.
Collicote got it down, but it's gone straight to Cody Wright. Wright then sends it into the middle of the ground. Tracking hard after it will be Earl. Didn't quite get the bounce he was after, and 3 or 4 players grab the ball and are immediately tackled in the middle of the ground. So the umpire grabs it and says, "I'll ball it up." We'll do it all again. He was going to throw it up one way, then he's decided to go the other way. One down by Broad. Talbot try and work it forward. They can. It comes out wide. Now they've got the run if they want it. They can chip down the line, do the Hawks. They look to go inside forward 50 for the first time this quarter. Back there was Shuttleworth. I haven't called his name too many times in this one yet. Picked up for the Giants by Walker. Walker handballs, and now the Giants will clear. Down the wing they go. It needs a strong grab. And unable to do so was Declan Wagstaff for the Maryborough Giants. Knocked over and out of bounds. It'll be thrown in right in front of our broadcast position. True centre wing here at Hedges Oval.
Blonde mulleted boundary umpire flings it back into play. Lands at the feet of Broad. Wright's been excellent. Early stages for the Giants. Tried to flick the handball out. Collicote, the big man, goes down low, has it pinned to his arm, and he'll be walked across the boundary line. It'll be thrown back in. Cody Wright, 14 games for Inglewood last year, one of a couple who came across from the Blues in the Loddon Valley League. And he's been involved in everything for the Giants in the early stages. Broad, just with a big round arm with that left hand, punches it straight back toward the boundary line. It's over and out, and we will have another throw in.
Yeah, noting Broad in this second quarter is trying to get in front for the ruck contest, and he's getting more of the football than he did in the first.
So Broad works Collicote out of it, grabs it, and as soon as he grabbed it he was tackled. It spills forward. Taking possession of the ball was Alex Marshall, who the umpire says was...
free kick back to Broad for a hold after he got rid of it.
So Broad's got it. Fires off a quick handball to Cody Wright. Wright's kicks found a teammate. It's in the hands of the Giants. They'll work it forward through Wagstaff. Inside 50 it goes. Spilling out. Talbot have got numbers in defence. Lurking back there is Maguire. They try and handball their way up, but it's a dangerous handball. Lurking on that far wing in the forward pocket. No one able to really take clean possession. Eventually out of there, it's picked up. It's a firing shot from goal from Whelan. And he's got it. Something out of nothing for the Giants, and Mitch Whelan gets the first goal of the quarter. So the Giants move to 3-4-22. Back within 3 points, 2.5 minutes gone. Here at Hedges Oval in Maryborough. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
And two promising signs for the Giants there that Declan Wagstaff was leading up. He did it out here on the wing to start that quarter. He did it when the ball got deeper into their forward line. And the other one was Carson Jureski. A lovely hit off the ground, hitting the ball out into the open and letting his teammates run onto it.
Wagstaff's he's a nice type. You'd like to kick it to him, wouldn't you? A big, tall, athletic customer.
Yes, he's got to take a bit of the load off Murray Bond's shoulders and start to move around. He started to do that to start this quarter, and it's promising for the Giants.
It's around the ground nicely. Of course, they've got Cupido stationed at full forward. Still hasn't made an impact in as far as the major scoring goes, has the coach for the Giants, but they're back within a handful of points. Bates off half back as the ball was just rolled forward, kicked straight down the throat of Page.
No, it's downfield free kick.
So he got slung after he kicked it.
Yep.
And Dylan Page is just saying, who do I give it back to? So I don't give away a 50, just hands it to Johns. The Giants captain kicks it to nobody, bounces in front of Cody Wright, who was good enough to make something of it. Copped a ball inside the 50. Wright or Whelan comes out and takes the chest mark. That's a terrific grab. He came charging out, it bounced off his chest. He found the ball behind him, he grabbed it as he went to the ground, and he'll have a shot 40 out directly in front.
Yes, that was excellent work there, and it was great thinking for starters there from Cody Wright. He could see that the free kick had been reversed. He ran on. Nobody from Talbot picked him up, and he put the ball out in front of Mitch Whelan, who took up, it lost it off his chest for starters, but regained it.
So for back-to-back goals and the lead, Mitch Whelan drills it. And the Giants are in front for the first time on the afternoon. 4-4-28 plays 4-1-25. Back-to-back goals to start this second term for the Giants. They've kicked the last three in the ball game, and they lead it by 3 points. We played 5 minutes in the second term. Score sponsor JB Rees stumping the thoughts of Norm Jenkin.
Yes, Mitch Whelan in his younger day at Maryborough Rovers was a very promising footballer, and we've seen it today. As he's got older, he's got a lot more experience, and he used that nicely in those last two passages of play.
The ball goes back into the middle. Spills to ground. Neither ruckman really got a touch on it. And there's a free kick that's being plucked out for in the back, which is going to go the way of the Giants. So it's in the hands of Johns, the captain. Johns on his right. Sends it inside forward. 50 going up again. Whelan couldn't quite bring it down. Spills out wide. Talbot have got numbers there, but they're unable to really get much clean footy. Eventually the pack comes flying out. The Giants have got it. They'll look to go back inside forward 50. It's a good strong grab taken. They'll wheel it inside forward 50. That come from Rollinson. His kick's poor. Oh no, the mark's been dropped, so the Giants might be able to make something out of this. It spills wide. And a good tackling pressure in the end there. That was Ratcliffe down there for Talbot, who was able to win himself a holding the ball free kick.
Cody Bravo was trying desperately to get rid of it. Short kick inside the defensive 50. The Hawks have got it through Luke Kemp. Experienced campaigner. Not his best kick out toward the boundary line. Just pitches inside the chalk before it goes out for a ball in between the wing and half forward for the Giants. Cast side of the ground. Kemp and Barras have played plenty of footy for the Hawks, Norm.
He's played a lot of footy for the Hawks over the years, Joel, and played some good football too over their time.
9 interleague appearances for the MCDFNL between them. Grass had it at this contest. Picked up by Wright, who just spirals it inside forward 50 for the Giants. Gareshi got pushed past the footy. No free kick. Spilled to Page inside the defensive 50 for the Hawks. Now Maguire drives it long toward the wing. Good kick. And a nice mark's taken by Egan, centre of the broadcast wing.
Egan handballs off to the teammate, which is the run from Barras. They chip into the middle of the ground with the hands of York. York's kick goes wide. They can wheel back through the middle. Talbot, they go towards centre half forward, presenting out, unable to take the mark. Spills to ground. Ball bouncing around. Talbot player held without the footy and will get himself a free kick. And it'll be 50 out. It's in the hands of Mark Ashmore. In fact, no, Ashmore's given it off.
Toby Shuttleworth, and it was an excellent second effort for Toby Shuttleworth there. He should have taken the mark. He didn't. Followed up, and he got a free kick for in the back.
So Shuttleworth from 50. faked like he was going to have the shot, then sends it to the top of the goal square. Ball hits the back of the pack, and the Giants are content to see it through for a minor score. So Talbot move along to 4-26. They trail by 2 points over the Maryborough Giants. We've played 7.5 minutes in the second quarter. Bendigo City Framers score sponsor. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So ball will be brought back into play by guess who? Cody Wright. He's everywhere. Chips it into the back pocket. And Walker takes the mark. He looks wide for Patterson. Kicks down the outer side wing, and it's a good mark taken by Plyer. So Plyer comes on the diagonal infield. There's a nice build-up from the Giants. Chris Scragg's got it. He drops it on the right boot. High footy inside the forward 50. It's all Hawks back there. Egan takes it. He copped one around the chops from Cupido. And the former Tiger will take the free kick inside the defensive 50. Reece Egan, who might have played for this amalgamated club had he stayed there. And instead made the switch to Talbot. He goes short to Page, who's been recruited out of Warburg. Page's kick outside the defensive 50, straight to his opposite number 2, and that's Archer Patterson for the Giants.
Patterson went inside, looking for Bravo. Ball spills, unable to take possession, and they might be able to get themselves out of trouble. They handball into pressure. Cupido got himself into a great position to make the tackle, and he did so. And we'll get it balled up, 50 out from home. The Giants make the most of their opportunities at the moment. Plenty of ball down their end, one down. Hacked out of the pack for Talbot towards the boundary, and it's
not going to go out.
Stay in play, it does. They work it back. It's in the hands of Page. Handball comes back. Talbot looked to go more towards the middle of the ground. Ends up in the hands of Tui. He's able to fire it forward towards centre half forward. Good strong attempt from Shuttleworth. Couldn't quite finish the mark, and the Giants will clear out of defence. It's in the hands of Walker. Umpires pulled a free kick.
Epworth threw the ball, didn't get a handball to it.
So
off the footy.
York's got it, and the umpires again call a reversal.
So I reckon it's going to be a free kick to the Giants player. Jason Atkins ran past and tried to give him one with the elbow, and so it's a free kick after all that to Michael Epworth. That was an interesting sequence. Giants force it forward. Across half back though, the Hawks have got some numbers there. Griffiths, he kicked a goal in the opening term. He's going to get a free kick after he puts his head over it. Talbot Varco was a little bit too fierce at the footy, and Maguire was cruising past. They work it out, short kick infield. Tui's got it for the Hawks. They can build through the centre of the ground. Long kick inside the forward 50 from Kemp. Who's the target? There's a free kick in the pack going to the Hawks. It'll be to Ashmore.
Yeah, Ashmore got pushed into Shuttleworth, and no, it's going to go to Shuttleworth. I thought Ashmore, his teammate, pushed him.
No, it's going to go to Ashmore. They just had to sort out who was going to take possession of the footy, and he's kicked it straight to the opposition. Pliers dropped the chest mark. Sliding on in his Bates. He goes to ground. Now the snap. He isn't going to score. And guess who's on the last line of defence? Cody Wright.
So Cody Wright has it. Wright will then chip down broadcast wing. It hits the back of the pack, which Talbot should have the numbers there. Unable to take clean possession. That might have been a little throw. Umpire said play on. Diving in on top of it was Maguire for the Hawks. It spills wide. The crowd appealing for ball, but nothing coming, and we'll get it ball up.
Yes, these Giants are hungry in this second quarter. There was 4 of them in that tackle then, and they made sure that Marshall earned that tackle.
Wagstaff won it down. Going hard through was Scragg. Spills out though. Talbot have got it. They'll send it inside forward 50 from York. In fact, the kick skews off the side of the boot, and it is gone out of bounds on the full. So the Giants will bring the ball back into play. 60 out from the Talbot goal. They come down short. Ball is taken in the hands of Johns, the captain. Kieran Johns has got it. Centre wing position here for the Giants. Takes his time before sending a long ball down the line. No one able to take the mark, but sitting at the front of the pack was Plyer. He got it and fired it forward. Cupido's down there. He's strong. Managed to pick up the footy. Sent it inside. Couldn't find a teammate. Still lurking down there. Talbot have got numbers and will cruise out of defence. They'll chip down the line. It'll end the hand up the hands of Severino.
So Severino infield to Ward. He's going to drop it on the right boot up toward half forward. Shuttleworth comes out, but standing in the hole is Matt Walker for the Giants. Chips it across the centre circles. Links up with Patterson, kicks it into the man on the mark. Scrappy stuff at the moment. Kemp picks it up for the Hawks. Handball infield. Gee, that was some high contact there on Griffiths. Not paid by the umpire. And then Ward Stone Cold dropped it in the centre of the ground. He had some pressure on him. Umpire eventually drags it to a stop. And Declan Bates will take the free kick for the Giants. Low footy inside the 50. Bounced off the chest of his teammate leading up in Cody Bravo. Couldn't take the mark. Spills the ground inside the forward 50 for the Giants. Big pack forms around it. Tackle laid by it was Chris Scragg in the end to lock things up. The ball up inside forward 50. Broad wins it down. Cruising past his Zane Earl has a flying shot at goal. And misses it away to the right-hand side for a minor score. Makes the margin 3 points, 4-5 to 4-2. We played 14 minutes.
Talbot will bring the ball in. It's in the hands of Barras. Barras will then send it straight to the man that has been absolutely everywhere in Wright. So Wright gets it, will pump it straight back in, and well, it's been a kick to kick at the moment because he sent it straight back into the hands of Barras again. So this time Barras. The kick's a little bit better into the middle of the ground. It finds Lockie Griffiths. Griffiths can chip down the line to a teammate, which is Kemp. Kemp's got it. Can wheel around onto the right foot. Sends it towards centre half forward. Can he get someone to come fly at it? Not quite taking it, but we're able to keep his feet. That was Aitkins. Aitkins into the pocket. Good play from the Hawks. And the mark has been taken on the chest. Leading out is Mark Ashmore, who is 40 metres out. He's just inside the chalk, so to take his best effort from here, if he was able to kick this one, Norm.
It was, but Ashmore wasn't up to it then. He should have moved further inboard. Where the bloke is on the mark is a long way past where the mark was completed.
So Ashmore comes in on the right. It starts, it swings back. It doesn't swing back enough, and he has managed to put it through for a minor. So Talbot moved to 4-3-27, trailing by 2 points. The Maryborough Giants 4-5-29. 15 minutes gone in the second quarter. Parsons Towing, Castlemaine, score sponsor. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Bouncing ball from the kick in. Finds Varco at half back for the Giants. He swings it into the middle of the ground. It's all Hawks there though. Marshall hands it off to Barras, who kicks to full forward. Oh, massive fly from Osborne. Came across the top of the pack. Couldn't take the mark. Spills down toward Ashmore. He fights for the footy. Out the back it comes. Taken there by Walker. Handball off. A lot of pressure being applied from the Hawks forward line. Osborne laid a good tackle, not rewarded.
I think the umpire thought about it and then thought, no, we'll ball it up.
Ball up, left forward pocket. Hawks deep inside attacking 50. They trail by 2 points. Middle stages of this second term. Almost a throw in the defensive 50 there for the Giants as they just try and surge it out of there. Soccer kick by Atkins for the Hawks. It'll come back inside the forward 50. But the kick goes halfway up the hill on that eastern side, out of bounds on the full. And the Giants got a chance to build something off half back through Talbot Marco.
And the pressure of the Giants this quarter's gone up a couple of notches, and Talbot haven't got the easy kicks that they had in the first quarter to create opportunities.
So Talbot have the ball, but it's with Maryborough. Talbot Varco. Just trying to get himself back as he had to go and fetch the footy. Plays on. Chips into the middle of the ground. It's not his best effort because the Hawks have got numbers where the ball drops. They'll come wide. Handball finds a teammate. That's with Porter. Porter's got it. Tried to do the 1-2 with a teammate there. Couldn't quite make it work. That was Maguire. They turn it over. The Giants will look to go towards forward 50. Still down there is Page for Talbot. Bouncing footy. And eventually the umpire crosses his arms and says, I'll have it. There's 60 out from goal. Maryborough heading towards the Maryborough end here at Hedges Oval.
It's one down in the ruck toward Earl of the Giants. Scraps a kick toward the 50. Taken by Whelan, who's kicked a couple in this second term. He's not going anywhere. We'll have another ball up 60 metres out from the Giants' goal. Ball spills out the back. Getting busy has been Alex Marshall for the Hawks. Free kick going the way of Maryborough. Chris Scragg to take it.
Was Scragg.
Exactly, Normie. Former Carisbrook Premiership player Chris Scragg kicks into the pocket. Nice presentation from Murray Bond, who slides into mark. 5 in from the boundary and 45 from home. Maybe a little bit further out. Didn't want to take the shot on from a similar distance in the opening term. Chips to the pocket, tied up against the boundary line. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. That's a poor result in the end.
Was a poor result, trying to find the coach and overcooked it by quite some distance.
Good policy though, trying to find the coach.
Oh, that's
Always
right.
a good idea.
Yes.
So it'll be important to bring it back into play for the Hawks. He chips short and he finds a teammate in the hands of Dylan Page. Quickly they go forward down the wing. That's
Good
a
grab.
strong intercepting mark for the Giants. They'll handball off. They'll go inside forward 50. Oh, they've ran themselves into a bit of pressure here though. Now they're forced to go backwards before they can go forwards. Ball's gone right back towards defensive 50, but Cody Wright has been so skillful this afternoon. Picks it up, chips it down the line. It's going to be turned over. Page has got it for Talbot. Neither team really able to get much clean possession. They go inside forward 50, the Giants. It spills out. It's going to be a flying shot out of the pack, and it's going to come off hands. Talbot defended down there on the last line of defence was Maguire.
Well, I'm connecting easily.
It's through for a minor score. They'll chip the ball back into play as they look to work themselves out of defence.
I'll ring Wallace and ask him.
Ball brought back in for the Hawks, but they can't control it inside the field of play, so they'll have a ball in left forward pocket for the Giants. Able to keep that margin around that 2 or 3 points. Sits at 3 at the moment. Ball tossed back in. Cupido in ruck. Wins it down. Bond around the corner to full forward. Telling defensive marks taken by Adam Scott. He's got it at the top of the defensive goal square for the Hawks. Doesn't see a lot that he likes. He wants Goretzky to clear the zone for him to have a swing at this one, and he does. It's a lovely kick. Releases Griffiths, and now he can find Kemp. The Hawks building it quickly down the outer side of the ground. Kemp pushed as he kicked. It wobbled off the side of his boot up toward Griffiths for the Hawks at half forward. Charges out, tries to surge it forward. And running into the road there was Jacob Plyer to hold things up. And we'll have a ball up at the left half forward for Talbot. 3 points the margin. Giants ahead. We're 20 minutes gone in this second term.
Cracking game of footy here so far. Nice and close. Ball goes up. And neither ruckman really got much of a hand to it. The Giants will emerge with it out through Ryan Howell. His kick has gone out of bounds on the full. And it will be a Talbot penalty free kick, which will go the way of Matthew York. True centre wing position on the far side here at Hedges Oval in Maryborough. They chip towards the top of the 50. Looking for something they can get. They're happy to quickly wheel around onto the right. Inside forward 50 they go. It spills towards its intended target, which is Reece Egan. Egan was managed to fire it forward and he's found a teammate. And Talbot will line up 25 metres out, almost directly in front, to try and regain the lead in this contest late in the second quarter.
Yes, good work by Reece Egan then. He ran his opponent under the ball, was able to come back in a lovely banana kick into the centering part of the field.
So he comes in on the right foot. And he snuck it through for a goal. So Talbot regained the lead back in this one. It is Darcy Osborne that manages to kick the goal. So the Giants have lost the lead again. It is Talbot 5-3-33. They lead by 3 points to the Giants 4-6-30. 20 minutes gone in the second quarter. Bendigo City Framers score sponsor. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yeah, something for nothing there for Talbot. They did well getting the ball around the wing, and they got a free kick for an out on the full, and they were able to run it from there and create space. First time they've been able to do it this quarter, and when they can, they look good. To the Giants' credit, they've been keeping pressure on them.
So ball back in the middle. Hawks back in charge, as Cam said. Maguire's there at the stoppage. Got the handball away to Marshall. Kicks to the edge of the 50. Walker sits under the high ball for the Giants. Steps through a tackle. Kick came off the side of the boot. Spills out toward right at left halfback. Goes to ground. Keeps his feet nicely. Bangs it up the line. Severino in from the side. Good mark. He's held up by Bond.
He's had Murray Bond's measure so far in this game, Severino. Done very well in the air to keep Bond touchless.
Yeah, kicks on the diagonal into the centre of the ground now. Harass has got it. His kick's a poor one up toward half forward, easily cut off by Archer Patterson to the Giants.
So Patterson's got it. No one mans the mark, so he plays on and then sends a long one down the wing. Finds a teammate in Rollerson. Rollerson's got it. He's probably one-step kick, so it wasn't his cleanest connection inside forward 50. Unable to take the defensive mark for Talbot. But they're happy to play towards the boundary. Umpire says it's still in play. Now they work it up towards the fence. It's in the hands of Hitchings. They go down the line. Sliding mark will be taken for the Hawks. Far wing. They come into the middle of the ground. Ball's in the hands of Griffiths. Griffiths has got space. He plays on the right. Sends it inside forward 50. Unable to really get the clean, and the Giants are working out of the fence up towards Bravo. Bravo does a spin before sending it on the right foot, trying to put it out in front of the runner. That runner is Johns. Johns has got the boundary line, and the boundary line wins out, as it so often does. We'll get it thrown in. True centre wing position right in front of our broadcast side here at Maryborough. It's a cracking day for footy, and we've got a good close contest.
Absolutely we do. Couple of points in it. 3 lead changes so far. Broad worked Osborne under the footy. Taking it, running away from that contest is Bravo. High footy inside the 50 for the Giants. Goretzky came flying in over the top. Cleaned up Mitch Wheel and his teammate as part of that. And it'll be Sam Hitchings to take it on the last line for the Hawks. He tosses it back to the umpire at half-time as the siren sounds. And just in the shadows of half-time, Talbot were able to pinch the lead back from the Giants. And they go to the main break up by 3 points. It is 5-3-33 to 4-6-30 at half-time. Only the 1 goal in that second term for the Hawks, but it's good enough to see them with the break at the half in what's been an entertaining contest thus far, Norm.
It has been. It's been a good game of football so far from both sides. The Giants have certainly shown that they're here to play, and in that quarter in particular, they were able to put pressure on Talbot, stop the Talbot run, and by stopping the Talbot run, you stop the scoreboard ticking over, and they were able to hit the front. But that goal late in the quarter was a killer for the Giants, as it was Egan onto Osborne, and Osborne made no mistake to put Talbot back in front. But all in all, both sides having a red-hot go, and skill hasn't quite been what you'd expect, but probably what you expect for early in the season, but not what you'll expect as the year goes on. And I think just at the end of that quarter, a few of the Giants were starting to blow a little bit. So we'll have to see how the half-time break goes for them, and whether they can come out and hit the track running again in the second half.
Certainly hope so. Both teams just working into things in the first game of the season here. Half-time at Hedges Oval in Maryborough. Opening round of the MCDFNL season. Opening game, a standalone game in round 1 of the campaign. It's the Maryborough Giants at half-time in their first outing in the MCDFNL, who trail Talbot by 3 points. The Hawks 5-3-33 lead the Giants 4-6-30 at half-time. A break. All the second half action is still to come. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. And it is half-time here at Hedges Oval in Maryborough, and it is the Talbot Hawks leading the Maryborough Giants 5-3-33 to 4-6-30. A couple of technical glitches in that second term, so we'll catch you up on what's happened. Both sides are out there getting ready to go for this second half. Joel Peterson, Cam Power, Norm Jenkins calling the footy for you. John Hunter here pushing the buttons. And round one of this MCDFNL standalone game this afternoon between these two teams. Of course, the rest of the games to be played next weekend. So we'll get the rest of the games in the MCDFNL's first round next weekend. But for these two teams, they kick their season off today, and the Giants kick their campaign off in the MCDFNL in their inaugural season. Goal kickers in that first half of footy, only the one multiple goal scorer on the ground in Mitch Whelan, who has a couple of goals to his name for the Hawks. Osborne, Griffiths, Atkins and Marshall, as well as Tui, have got the goals. Osborne kicked the only goal in that second term for Talbot. Mitch Whelan kicked the only two goals that the Giants kicked in that second quarter. Talbot Varco kicked one in the opening term for Maryborough, and Jacob Rollerson kicked their opening goal of the game. Norm, for those who weren't with us in that second term, as we spent a little bit of time off the air, how did the game unfold? How have we got to this stage where we've had three lead changes and the Hawks are in front by 3 at half time?
Well, the Maryborough Giants, to their credit, put pressure on Talbot early in that second quarter, and the ball lived in their forward line, but they weren't able to put any score on the board until round about the 10-12 minute mark of the quarter. Mitch Whelan kicked his first, and a minute later, straight from the centre bounce, he kicked his second goal, and it was a purple patch for Whelan, and it gave the Giants the lead, and then they were able to hold on to that lead for most of the rest of that second quarter until we got to time on in that second quarter, and Talbot seemed to have more run in their legs than what the Giants boys had. It was a good passage of play, taking it from defence to the forward line. Reece Egan, very smart, a little boomerang kick into the goal square for Darcy Osborne, the resting ruckman, to take a good mark and go back and kick a goal to put Talbot back in front again. But for mine, just waiting to see how this third quarter starts, because I felt that at the end of that second quarter, the Giants just didn't play it out to the end. They seemed to run out of legs and let Talbot back into it, because they'd controlled the quarter well until probably just before time on, so just before the 20-minute mark of that quarter.
From an individual sense, who's impressed you for the Hawks?
Well, I like the way Severino's gone down back on Murray Bond. He's kept him out of the game, and in that quarter, I think he kept Bond to one or two touches, if that. Griffiths continued on a good first quarter with an excellent second quarter, as did Reece Egan, and also Trent Barras got into the game in that quarter, and with him and Adam Scott down back, that got Talbot going again late in the quarter.
Get your thoughts, Cam, on the better players for Maryborough Giants as we go through this second term. Umpire holds the ball aloft in the middle of the ground. Second half underway. It is the Hawks who lead by 3 points as we go into it. Here's Cam Power on Fresh Bendigo.
Into the middle we go. Ball comes out. Talbot trying to go forward. Wright's in there for the Giants. Spilling ball forward. Working it towards centre half. Ball's gone about 20 metres forward without anyone getting any clean possession. The umpire's pulled out a free kick for holding the ball, and as a result, the Giants, they'll take the advantage. They'll work it towards centre half forward. Diving in and taking a nice mark on the lead is Whelan. Whelan gets it, sends it inside, on the chest. Great play, Giants. Mark taken, 30 out, directly in front. And the Giants can put themselves back in front in the first minute of the third quarter. And it will be Chris Scragg who will line up for goal.
Yes, excellent football by the Giants then. They were able to run the ball out of defence with a number of handballs, and until they got it into the hands of young Mitch Whelan, and an excellent kick by Whelan to find Scragg.
So Scragg, 35 out, directly in front. Goal umpire has to work, and there were some celebrations, but I reckon the goal umpire signalled a behind.
You can't believe it!
Scragg's not happy. He thought it was a goal. Goal umpire says no, it wasn't. Minor score. First score of the third quarter. It is 4-7-31, playing 5-3-33 is a 2-point game. Score sponsor, JB Reef Stumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, it was interesting. The Talbot defender looked at it. He knew it was the wrong side of the post and went and took up his position for a kick-in.
Yeah, Chris Gregg was convinced, so too were his Giants teammates. A couple of people in cars around the ground were convinced. The goal umpire remained pretty firm in his view as the long kick down the line. The Hawks saw the Giants, Talbot try and transition it quickly. Goes out of play. Impressive players for the Giants in that first half, Cam.
Yeah, Carson Goreski was playing well up forward. Jacob Plyer came into the game late in the quarter, as did Cody Bravo, doing some nice things. But I'm liking Cody Wright, clear best on ground for me. And Kieran Johns as captain is playing a nice job.
Ball to be chucked back in. The boundary umpire doesn't quite get the required juice on the throw-in. Falls short of the 2 rucks. So we'll try and fling it over his shoulder once more. Takes a couple of paces in. That one's a little bit short as well.
No, I don't think it's the shortness, Joel. He seems to be flicking it sideways as he throws it, and it's going to his right, the player's left.
So the central umpires walked over to him and said,
Throw it again.
Throw it straight.
Yes, I don't know what's going on here. It's
Just maybe he
it's
had
his
some
technique.
maybe he had some popcorn at half time or something, Norm, and he's just got a little bit of oil on the hands, or he's put some sunscreen on. There we go. That's a nice boundary throw in. Jack Broad wins it down for the Giants. He just tries to roll it forward. Matt York dives on top of the pack for the Hawks, and at half forward for Talbot, kicking up toward the Maryborough end in this third term. We'll have a ball up.
Ball up, getting it down Talbot, but it's all Giants at ground level. And the umpire says we'll ball it up again. We'll do it all over again. Quickly throws the ball up, and he threw it up to himself and almost took it on his chest, the umpire then. So we'll have another go at it. This time he throws it up and he backs out of the way as the 2 ruckmen go up at it. Giants trying to fight their way through. Good straggling there from Alex Marshall for the Hawks. Was strong on the tackle. At the bottom of the pack was Lockie Bates for the Giants. Those 2 get a little bit of a push and shove as they get back up. Umpire throws it up in again. Ball coming out. Broad's in there. Trying to go through was Bates. No real clean possession at the moment.
Free kick for in the back though.
Umpire might be just thinking, I want to get this one out of that congestion. So he pulls a free kick. Now the Giants work it up. Bravo slid in. Dropped the mark, which allowed for a turnover to Page. Page has got it. Sent it forward for the Hawks. It bounces around at centre half forward. As a result, the Giants are able to pick it up and clear out of defence. Wright will come in from the side, but a good strong mark taken. Held his ground nicely to Alex Marshall, who then chips off and finds a teammate 60 out from goal. It's with Matthew York.
York's got it a long way from home. Assesses his options. Pokes it to the pocket. He finds Jason Atkins, who kicked a goal in that opening term. Right at the top of the goal square. Atkins has got it. Maybe just beyond the 50. 5 metres in from the boundary line in the left forward pocket. Hawks by 4 points before the kick. And Atkins will only add to their margin with a minor one. If that, it must have just snuck through on that left-hand side, and it did. So, minor score to the Hawks, 5-5, plays 4-6, 5-point lead to Talbot. We played 5 minutes in this third term on Fresh Bendigo.
So the Giants will work the while up towards Murray Bond, who's got it. Far wing, Bond sends it down the line for the Giants. Flying up, ball goes to the back of the pack. Free kick was played, might be advantage to the Giants, it is. They'll work it inside forward 50, that was Wagstaff. Bounces around, they lead out to get it, trying to get it was Bravo, couldn't quite. Spills back, still a chance for the Giants if Declan Wagstaff's clean. He was, fires it wide. It ends up in the hands of Whelan. Whelan then handballs out wide, which is with Walker. Walker's got it. Now the Giants can go inside forward 50. No one really home. Ball bouncing around, leading out, taking it, bending off on the right, bending back is Rowlandson. Would have been some goal, but it's through for a minor score for the Maryborough Giants, who now move to 4-8-32, playing 5-4-34. It is a 2-point margin in this one. Talbot will bring the ball back into play quickly. It's in the hands of Hitchings.
So Hitchings drives it off half back, up toward the wing outer side. Good mark from Walker for the Giants. Immediately looks infield and finds Bates. Bates can flare it out wide to right half forward. Had a runner on there in Earl. Just elects to go more direct and kicks it over the head of Murray Bond. It was dropped there by Adam Scott though. Handball to Hitchings, under pressure. Kick squirts forward. He's going to get a free kick though because he was dumped after he got rid of it. And so Sam Hitchings will take the footy from inside the D50. In fact, it's going to go back out wide to Porter for the Hawks, who's still inside that defensive arc. Margin is 4 points. Hawks in charge. Kicked only 1 goal in that second term. No goals on the board for either side as yet.
Giants looking to go down the wing and turn it over, but Talbot will now work it into the middle. They've got plenty of space if they can get out here through Griffiths. Ball bounce. Can they get it to him? Still working it forward. Giants putting on enough defensive pressure, but they work hard. It comes out now to Kemp. Kemp can steady, and he'll chip into the pocket. Mark not quite taken. They'll work it out. It's Ashmore. Ashmore was tackled. Screams of holding the ball. Giants clear it out. Up to the wing. In the hands of the Giants as they'll work it forward. Getting it there was Murray Bond. Was dealt with after he kicked it, but he got it inside. Spills out the back to Rollinson. Can he pick it up? Rollinson can. Fends off. Steadies. Goes for goal. Goalkeeper on the line for Talbot. Was able to touch it through. That was Troon. Another minor score. So the Giants bring it back. There's 4 goals 9, playing 5 goals 4. We played 7.5 minutes in the third quarter. We've got the close one at the moment. Parsons Towing, Castlemaine, score sponsor. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
It wouldn't be hard, Cam. We've got the only game in the league. So if we didn't have the close one, it would be a bit of a worry. Long kick outside defensive 50 from Page. We've got the close one and we've got the blowout this afternoon. Here at Hedges Oval. Picking himself up is Marshall. Diagonal kick is an aggressive one and a good one. Finds Ward. So Ward kicks up toward half forward. Stretching to mark is Atkins. Nice overhead take. 60 from home. Pokes it inside the 50. Kemp's got it. Maybe just inside the arc. A true centre half forward. He lays it off as well. That's nicely built up from the Hawks. And Tui's taken the mark. 40 from home. He's directly in front.
Yeah, it's good football by Talbot then. They put the ball to their teammates' advantage right down the ground as they came down, and it was a lovely kick from Kemp to find Tui.
So end-to-end from the Hawks. Now the question around the finish of Jack Tui. Left foot, set shot. No issues at all with that. Or has he just put it over the post?
Hit the post to go, umpire said.
He cleared the post by a good couple of metres. So
Yeah, I know, but
that seems an interesting call. Anyway, it's a minor score and the margin is 2 points.
well, they say that the post should go right up to as far as it'll go, or higher than it'll go, so he just felt that it would have hit the post.
But if it didn't hit the post, I'm not sure you can call it hit the post.
Yeah, it sort of seems like it has to hit the post to
You would
call
have
that.
thought, yeah, but
I understand that if it goes over the top of the post,
Yeah.
it can't be a goal.
no.
That's just, I guess, what else do you call it?
Yeah, well, that's right. No, just a behind.
Just a behind.
No
will do.
signal. No signal, just behind.
After all that, the Giants have worked it up to back flank where it's thrown in from the boundary umpire. Not able to really get much of a clean possession at the minute as the ball's just bouncing around like a pinball at the bottom of the pack. 2 sets of players from both teams will jump on top of it. The umpire crosses his arms and says, I'll have it. Do it all again. Talbot inside forward 50. They lead this game by 2 points. Ball goes forward, knocked down. Lurking down there for Talbot was Griffiths. Making a bit of a presence down there is Griffiths. Ball's gone out of bounds.
No, good tackle by the Talbot player. Didn't give the Giants player a chance to get rid of the football. Pinned his arms and he just let it go.
The Talbot player's down there, which is he was getting up a little bit gingerly his collar coat, but he gets up to his feet. So Talbot had got it. They'll centre it towards the hot spot. Oh, not his greatest kick, and sliding in, taking a defensive mark was Ply, but it wasn't paid. And I thought he marked it.
No, ball fell in front of him, Cam, and then he had to reach out with the hand to drag it back in.
Your eyesight is a little bit better than mine on that far pocket. Ball goes up again. And ball goes back down for another ball up. See if you can get us out of this one, Joel.
I'll do my best, Cam. Right forward pocket, Hawks into attack. They lead by 2, 5-5 to 4-9. 11 minutes gone in this third term. MCDFNL season opener at Hedges Oval. Giants just trying to scramble something outside the defensive 50. Ball in the hands of Ward, tied up against the boundary line, throws it on the boot toward goal, and it's missed to the near side. And it's another minor score that takes the Hawks lead to 3 points. So they just continue to inch it out after the Giants got it back to one solitary behind earlier in the quarter. We've played 11 and a half minutes.
Giants will bring the ball in. Short ball, which was intended for a teammate there, and unable to take it was Archer Patterson. They managed to work it forward. It's in the hands of Bond. So Murray Bond's got it. He's got a couple of options short. Does he look to switch or does he come down the line? He does the latter of the options. And Collicote knocked it forward, but straight to Bravo. Bravo couldn't quite cleanly take it though. Collicote picked it up, fed off a teammate, and Collicote's collected Bravo a little bit high with a little bit of a stray elbow there, and the umpire spotted it. So Bravo will get the free kick. Waiting for the ball to come back to him. About 80 metres out from home. Bravo gives it off to Wright. Wright sidesteps the man on the mark. Then he has to find out the handball to a teammate. He can get it. They can come back. It's with Archer Patterson. Patterson sends it inside forward 50. Talbot have got the numbers at the drop of the ball, but it doesn't bounce cleanly. It's picked up. Firing shot on goal from Carson Goreski is a minor score. And the Giants unable to make them pay. It is 4 goals, 10-34, playing 5-6-36. Nice close game here in the third quarter. We've played 12 and a half minutes. JB re-stumping, score sponsor, local footy loaves at Fresh Bendigo.
7 behinds between the two teams in this third term. It's not been accurate stuff, as you mentioned at half-time. Not been scrappy. It's what we may be expecting round one, but they'll want to iron out a few things as we go deeper into the season. Nice transition again from the Hawks, who go from end to end. Handball infield toward Egan at half-forward. Pliers there for the Giants. Throws it on the boot, tries to clear the defensive 50. Bouncing ball out toward the boundary line. Can York keep it in? Yes. Handball over the top to Ward for the Hawks. Now off to Hitchings. Up toward the 50. Dumped as he kicked. It'll be in the hands of Osborne anyhow. 60 from home for Talbot. Centering kick's a good one. Severino's been important today. Kicks inside the 50. Well done from Wright. Back with the flight. Knocked it down. Straight into Hawks' hands. But he lays the tackle. Wins the footy back. Spilt now to Page for the Hawks. Collicote's kick smothered by Wheel, and the Giants' defence holds up. And Bond can launch one back the other way.
And he does. He hits a nice pass onto the chest of Carson Goreski. Goreski sends it inside forward 50. It bounces towards the top of the square. No one able to take it though. Talbot have got numbers. Can they handball their way out of pressure? Ratcliffe's got it. They're under all sorts of pressure. No, they've made it hard. Ball hits the bottom of the pack. Umpire crosses his arms. No score.
It's better forward pressure by the Giants. They're now holding the ball in more than they were able to in the first quarter.
So it'll be tossed up. 2-point ball game. And the Giants are pressing here. Thrown on the boot by Archer Patterson. It floated across the face before it was helped through. We are back to a 1-point game. 14 minutes played, third term. And it is 4 goals, 11-35, playing 5-6-36. The Giants have had plenty of opportunities, but unable to make them stick.
Send it inside forward 50. Might have been a push out there.
Yes, Rollinson had no need to push the play then. He could have gone up and got hands to it without.
So Talbot will work it out of defence. They've got a loose option just outside the defensive 50, which they find. Far wing here. This is Oval Royal Park in front of a packed crowd here. Down the line they go. Defence came in from Plyer, was able to intercept it for the Giants. Sends it forward. Got a couple of players here if they can communicate it. Ball bounces inside forward 50. Talbot have got it. They'll work it forward. Handball really went to no one in particular. And it bounces around and a couple of players will dive on top of it. Probably had more time than what he actually did. Thought he had then, Norm.
He did, but it was good work by the Talbot player there. He had nobody to kick it to or handball it to. He just put it out in front and hoped for the best.
Haven't seen any of Cupido this quarter. Just noticed he's been on the bench for the 16 minutes so far.
Yes, it's you're wondering whether he has got some sort of an injury or whether he's just seeing how the players having another look at it for a coach's perspective.
So Osborne's got it for the Hawks at centre half forward, drops it inside the 50. Walker attacks it and he's off and moving. He wobbles one out to the outer side wing. Bouncing ball in front of Whelan for the Giants. Good pressure applied from Troon. Now York for the Hawks. For the handball forward, Truden was there. A little bit further afield was Atkins. He picks it up, runs away, sends it to half forward for Ward. 52 metres from home. What's he got inside the 50? He gets a lead from Scott, heads in that direction. Scott slides in, just can't take the mark, tied up against the boundary line. It spills over the chalk and out, and it'll be a throw in. 30 metres around from the Talbot goal. They lead this game by one solitary point. These two teams in this term have kicked 8 behinds between them. No major scorers yet.
Boundary umpire throws the ball in. Spilling out. Ball come forward and it was an incorrect disposal. It was tackled out of hands. Giants will win the free kick for holding the ball. I look to bring it out of defence. Not a lot of movement up the ground at the moment. Big ground here at Hedges Oval, so really testing the fitness of both teams early on in the season. Giants will work it forward in the hands of Whelan. Whelan finds a teammate. Now they've got the hand run through the middle. Down the line they go. Chasing out after it hard will be Rowlandson. Can he get clean possession? Talbot's defence holds up, but Rowlandson got it. Done well. Fed it out to Bates. Bates inside forward 50. Strong mark for the Giants. 35 metres out though. Pretty tough angle. Deep inside the forward pocket. Left hand side here as they shoot towards the Talbot end of the ground. It's Chris Scragg. Scragg. One step on the right. Looks good. It is good. Goal to the Giants. And they have probably been the better team this quarter, and now they have the lead on the scoreboard. 5-11-41, they lead it by 5 points. Talbot 5-6-36. We've played 17 minutes in the third quarter. Parsons Towing, Castlemaine, score sponsor. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, the Giants' defence has tightened up this quarter, and they haven't allowed Talbot any easy entries into their forward line. But when they've come out of it the last couple of times, they've been able to move the ball well. That was a great build-up, and it was a great effort by Rollerson, who had to make a second effort and then a lovely kick forward after the second effort to find Scragg on a lead.
First goal since the 5-minute mark of that second term for the Giants, and the first goal of the game since the 21-minute mark in that second term. So it's been a bit of a drought in terms of goals, but they're on the board, are the Giants, and they're back in front. The fourth lead change of the afternoon. So it hasn't been a high-scoring affair, but it's been plenty entertaining. Joel Peterson, Cam Power, Norm Jenkin with you. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Great to have you with us. This opening game of the MCDFNL season. Ward in the middle of the ground for the Giants. He's tossed to the turf.
It's when the umpy takes his time like that, you know that if you don't get it out, he's going to pay a free kick against you.
And so it'll go the way of Osborne for the Hawks.
Osborne has it in the middle of the ground. He sends it towards centre half forward. Leading out, couldn't quite get there was Barras. Barras did well though, he fired in hard, was taken in the second tackle. Giants fans thought it should have been holding the ball. Wright's got it, he feeds out a handball. They work themselves out of defence. Bravo's got it. He fires one over the top. Down the wing they come, but it's all Talbot back there. Oh, dropping the mark he should have taken for Talbot. Might be able to pounce, and they do, the Giants. It's picked up by Goreski. Just got boot to ball. Going forward is Earl. Earl's got it. Earl's got it. He fends off high, but I think there's been a bit of push and shove off the ball, and the umpire's plucked out a downfield free kick.
I think it's going to come back to Marshall. I think Goreski just
did.
swung him to the turf, and
I was watching the ball, and I think there might have been a little bit of push and shove off the ball, was it, Lynn?
yep.
Yes, it's Marshall's free kick. He was thrown to ground, and
Goreski told him to go away, I think would be the correct paraphrase, Norm.
Starting to get a little bit heated, this contest. Nice close contest. Talbot will have possession in the hands of Alex Marshall. Marshall comes down the wing. Didn't quite get there. It was Griffiths, bounced off his chest. Wright picked it up. He was tackled and disposed of the ball illegally as he was tackled by Collicote, who will receive the free kick.
Big lump of a lad, Aaron Collicote. He drops it on the right boot up toward half forward for the Hawks. Couple of Giants spoil each other. Plyer among them. Goes to ground. There's support there at ground level for the Hawks. Griffiths is in over the top to lock things up. And a ball up at half forward. 5-point lead to the Giants. They've got the only goal in this term. They've kicked 1 goal, 5 all up. They lead it by 5 points at the moment after it was Talbot by 3 at half time. In the middle of the ground, taking the footy is Bond. He's caught and gone. And the free kick will go to Marshall for the Hawks. He'll take it just in front of centre.
Marshall gets it and quickly wheels forward, finds a teammate. They'll roll inside forward 50 the Hawks. Kick was just a little bit short for the intended target. They can wheel around onto the right, sends it goalwards, right towards goal. It's a good effort. I think it might have even gone through. It was Adam Scott. Terrific goal for Talbot. One against the runner play as well. And one that puts them back in front by a solitary point. 6-6-42. The Giants 5-11-41. A cracking game of footy this one. We've played 21 minutes in the third quarter. Bendigo City Framers, score sponsor. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, it was a fast build-up by Talbot then. They got players out on the far side of the ground, the scoreboard side of the ground, and from there it was all a matter of execution. And in the end it was Adam Scott picked the ball up on the run, swung around his shoulder, swung around the body with the left foot and made no mistake.
Flushed that one, did Adam Scott. And back to a 1-point ball game. 5th lead change in the game. Osborne in the middle of the ground. Maguire's there for the Hawks. Handball looking forward, cut off by Broad. Got it to Wright. Wright's kicked to half forward. Wagstaff, that's Reece Wagstaff, pokes it inside the 50. Oh, gee, cannot be 15. It was about 8.6 metres, Norm.
Oh,
and Murray Bonds claimed the mark. He swings it on the right boot across the 50. Kicks it to vacant territory. No teammate on the end of it. Hawks with the numbers. Ward barrels it outside the defensive arc, but it'll come back in because Walker's taken the mark between the wing and half forward for the Giants.
Walker's got it. His short ball finds its intended teammate. Had to dive and make it tough though. Johns. Someone that will need to stand up if the Giants are to win this game. Kieran Johns gets it, wheels it inside. Can he find a target? Big pack of players almost coming down with it there. It was Rowlandson. Ball still lurking, just at the bottom of the pack. No one able to get clean, and Talbot should be able to work it out. Dangerous handball. Bravo's lurking. Bravo's got it. He steps one way, steps the other. His kick was partially smothered. Talbot will be content to see that through for a minor behind. Nervy moments there. And their lead increases to 2 behinds. 6-7-43, 5-11-41. 23 minutes gone in the third quarter.
So the Hawks bring it in from fullback. Wide kick, might have just been touched on the way out, so it'll be thrown in front of the big sponsors board on the outer side there. Proudly adorned with the Maryborough Giants Football Netball Club signage. First game in the MCDFNL for this merged club this afternoon. Of course, Royal Park and Rovers amalgamating last year. And the Giants stepping out in the competition this afternoon. At the moment, it is scores tied deep in the third term. Page lays a good tackle for the Hawks across the defensive 50. Ward's in there as well for Talbot. He can't take it cleanly. Hitchings bashes a kick outside the defensive 50. It'll come back though, because Talbot Varco's got the footy for the Giants on the wing. Chips it to half forward, sliding in, not able to mark his teammate there, who can't do a lot with it, Cody Wright. He's been everywhere this afternoon. And a stoppage at left half forward for Maryborough.
Yeah, the experience of Matty Walker in defence, ex-Carisbrook, been at Royal Park for a number of years, is starting to show for the Giants.
Talbot win the ball forward. Smothered out of the pack though was the kick which come forward from Matt Ward. Umpire will cross his arms and says, I'll ball it up. Far wing here, edges oval. Nice close contest. Talbot content to see that one over the boundary line is Declan Page as he picks it up and he's happy to walk it across.
It's interesting to see a couple of Giants players starting to cramp. Not good signs late in the third quarter of a first game of the year when you're all square.
A few tired bodies out there at the moment as we get past 25 minutes in this third term. Ball tossed back in, Broad inside the forward 50. Declan Wagstaff slid out, couldn't take it. Bond laid a great tackle. He got Hitchings, but just able to get rid of it was the Talbot defender. It'll come back inside the forward 50. Bates for the Giants. Inside the 50, wheeling over the tops, plucked it. Oh, that's a terrific mark in the left forward pocket. And Mitch Whelan will have a shot, 35 out, tied up against the boundary line.
Yes, an excellent grab by Whelan then. He set himself for that mark as it came in. He was third in line and took a good grab.
Right foot set shot from Whelan's across the face. Big fly from right. Can't take the mark. They've got numbers there. Bond with the toe poke. He rolls it home. Murray Bond with a poacher's chance right on the 3/4 time siren. And it hands the Giants back the advantage as we go to the final change. One straight kick the ball game. And the Giants are ahead in their first game in the MCDFNL. Murray Bond with the goal to get us to half-time, his first of the afternoon. And it is the Giants, 6-12-48, leading the Hawks 6-6-42 as we turn for home here at Hedges Oval. It's all ahead of us, a big finish coming up. Stay with us however you're listening. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Quarter time at Hedges Oval in Maryborough, and what a game we've got in our hands with a quarter to go. 6-12-48, the Giants in their first outing in the MCDFNL. They lead the Talbot Hawks 6-6-42. Joel Peterson, Cam Power, Norm Jenkin calling the footy for you. Great to have your company on 101.5 throughout Central Victoria, or wherever you're listening via the TuneIn and the Community Plus radio apps. Goal kickers at three-quarter time. Murray Bond kicked one with a little outside of the boot toe poke along the ground right at the top of the goal square for the Giants to get us to three-quarter time. That handed them a 6-point lead which is, I mean, it is actually their biggest lead of the game. It's been close confines throughout. The biggest margin either side has had was Talbot by 12 early in the piece. So Murray Bond's got 1, Mitch Whelan's got 2. He's the only multiple goal scorer on the ground. Talbot Varco, Chris Scragg and Jacob Rollison each have 1. Rollison's had plenty of opportunities in front of the big sticks for the Giants. For the Hawks, Darcy Osborne's got 1. Adam Scott kicked their lone goal in that third term. Griffiths, Atkins, Tui and Marshall have the other goals for the Talbot Hawks. To three-quarter time, Norm, they're very much in the game, and both teams are a bit wasteful in that third term.
Well, both teams were very wasteful. As you said, at one stage it was 8 points straight between the two sides, 6 to the Giants and 2 to Talbot before the Giants were able to get a goal and sort of break it open a little bit. And they kept the pressure up that quarter, and it was Matty Walker down back that very experienced, was able to control it, and the amount of times that he stopped Talbot going forward was probably 6 or 8 for the quarter, which kept the Giants in it, and pressure, persistence in those last few minutes, and just a toe poke off the ground by Murray Bond has given the Giants a 6-point lead. The thing for me, and it will be interesting to see what happens, Cupido didn't go on the ground during that third quarter. We feel he may be injured, and a number of the Giants players late in that third quarter were starting to tighten up and starting to cramp up. Can Talbot run over the top in this last quarter and use their experience, or will it be the Giants that are able to come back?
Yep, it'll be fascinating to see in the latter stages of this one exactly how things unfold. Cam, who have you liked for the Giants in that third term? Saw them take the lead by 6 points at that three-quarter time.
Yeah, interesting. Talbot are out in position as well, and the Giants are still in their huddle. But Murray Bond started to be a presence as well. Rollinson's providing options in the forward line. Whelan's had a great game. That was a terrific mark that he took down in that forward line. Kieran Johns and Cody Wright has been everywhere. Cody Bravo also, I thought, has had some moments in this game as well. And just an around-the-ground score, Joel, out in the Heathcote Footy League. It is 16 minutes into the last quarter. Huntley 9-7-61, Whitehills 17-11, 113. So Whitehills will run out victors in that game to kick off the Heathcote Footy League.
Tough start for Hamish Morecambe in his senior coaching debut for the Huntley Hawks. Normie, what do the Talbot Hawks have to do to win this game from here?
Well, the Talbot Hawks have got to do what they did in the first quarter and the first half of the second quarter. They've got to be able to run the ball, get the ball out in the open, and put it to their forwards in an advantaged position. That quarter they ended up just bombing it in 90% of the time. They did well out of defence. They got it to their half-forward line, but then there was no connection between the half-forward line and the full-forward line. They've got to be able to do that, because if they don't and the Giants get enough of it in their forward line, I think the Giants, the day, the occasion, will give the Giants enough to hold on and hold the Hawks out.
So a big crowd here for their first game of the MCDFNL. Can the Maryborough Giants hold on and score their first win in their first outing as a club? Final term underway. The hosts lead it by 6 as we turn for home. Broad and Osborne in ruck. Osborne has a couple of cracks at it for the Hawks, wins it down. Egan tries to keep it moving for Talbot, but it'll come back the other way for the Giants through Bates. First inside forward 50. Bond got a hand to it, flicked it up. Rollison flying shot at goal for the perfect start for the Giants. He misses it right, but he pushes it out to a 7-point margin. It's a great start, a very, very impressive start from Maryborough.
Yes, and that was two players that know each other's game very well. Murray Bond and Jacob Rollison, as they were been teammates at Royal Park for quite a number of years now.
So Talbot to bring the ball back into play out of defence. Could work out to be a handy point. That one, 7-point margin. They'll bring the ball down the broadcast side wing. Trying to set himself for a fly. There was Egan, he was a fair way back. Ball spills forward to the bottom of the pack. Just comes out the back. Cody Wright picks it up. Chips into the middle of the ground. That's a great bit of composure. He finds a teammate in Earl. Earl's got it. Well, long ball inside forward 50. Just carries over the back. No one able to take a clean mark. Ball hits the bottom of the pack. There was a chance there. The chance goes begging as the umpire crosses his arms and says, I'll ball it up inside forward 50 for the Giants. who started the final quarter with a bit of the run, Joel.
Absolutely, they have. So up it goes, inside forward 50 for Maryborough. Up at the Maryborough end of the ground here at Hedges Oval. John steps through a couple of tackles, can't beat another one, caught holding the ball. Trying to make something happen was the captain. It'll come back the other way though. Free kick going to Marshall, who's got busy in this second half. Sends it out wide to Hitchings. He's got it at left half back. Chips it up toward Ward, floated it over his head, picked up by Plyer of the Giants. Handball to Broad, he gave it straight back to Ward, then he upended him. Ward's handball is pinched. Opposite number in there in Varco for the Giants. Just bobbling around between the two sides at the moment. Eventually, Barras is able to get a clear kick, but it's out of bounds on the full as it spirals up that outer side wing. And it'll be a free kick to be taken by the Giants. And Declan Bates, just defensive side of centre wing. Margin is 7 points the way of the Giants, who kicked the first score in this final term.
Chip down the line, Mark taking. In the hands of Zane Earl for the Giants. I think that he looks like he's in no rush, but we've only played 2 minutes in this final term. There is still stacks of time in this one. No one able to complete the mark at the end of the kick. Ball goes to ground, and the umpire crosses his arms. Says that one's not coming out anytime soon. I'll have it. So you'll ball it up. Just out of forward 50 for the Giants, who have had more of the attacking play in this final quarter. Can they make it count? Talbot will get the clearance. It'll come from Dylan Page. He just sends it back down the line. So appeals for a hold, nothing doing. Broad's got it. Went without the ball. Allowed Talbot to fire a handball through. Now they can come into the middle of the ground. Can they pick it up cleanly? They can. Inside forward 50 they go. Good little bit of play this, and on the end of it will be Adam Scott. Adam Scott can go back and kick a pivotal goal, which will bring it back to a 1 point margin if he can. 25 metres out, almost straight in front. The alarms on the cars go off. Is it to put him off? In he comes. On the left. Never looked like missing. Through it goes. And we're back to a 1 point margin. 7 goals, 6:48 are the Hawks, trailing the Giants 6:13:49. 3.5 minutes gone in the final quarter. That goal against the run of play. Bendigo City Framers, local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, that goal was against the run of play, but it's what Talbot's got to do. They've got to kick the ball to space, and that's what Jack Toohey did. He put it out in front of Adam Scott and made it easy for Adam Scott to take the chest mark, and he was able to keep the opposition away from the football, and then he made no mistake, and as soon as it left his boot he was celebrating, so very confident kicking towards goal, and he's the first multiple goal scorer for Talbot today.
He struck it straight down the middle, did Adam Scott. A lovely finish. And so we are back to a 1 point game. I want to adjust that scoreboard on the other side of the ground too, just quietly, because the last thing you want in the first game of the season, Normie,
Yes, that's right.
is for the scoreboard to be wrong. And
Can't see any boys on there at present. I think they might have left it.
Jacob Rollison definitely kicked it behind for the Giants at the start of the quarter. From the middle, Page for the Hawks. A towering kick up toward half forward. Numbers around it for the Giants. They'll win it and send it back the other way, but only as far as Barras, who takes it infield to Osborne. The run comes from behind in Maguire. He loops it inside the forward 50. Oh, Scott goes up. Almost took a terrific mark. He was opposed really solidly by Epworth. And they drag it back into the mess. And we've got a ball up 30 metres out from the Hawks' goal.
Yes, that was a good jump by Scott, but a good second effort because he didn't give the free kick away at ground level.
Ball spills, bottom of the pack. Egan trying to go through. Spills out. Wright's got it. Oh, did he get rid of it legally? Umpire may have been blindsided. Yeah, he's plucked out a free kick for a high tackle, which is going to go the way of the Hawks.
And that's the square up.
And it will be a chance for Alex Marshall, who can kick the goal to put Talbot in front. He decides to handball it off to Declan Page. Page, I'm not sure if it was a shot or a centre up, but either way, the Giants will be able to come out of trouble. They'll chip down the far wing. Knocking it forward, though, was Porter. Talbot still have the chances in the middle of the ground. Porter's there. Now they can come into the middle to Collicote. Now they've got some space. Collicote's got it. He wheels back.
Looks to come through the corridor. He does. Sends it inside forward 50. Can he get a fly? Kick was a little bit too deep. Lurking is Maguire. Comes out. Maguire's got it. Will send it towards the top of the square. Scott's there. Can he mark it? Scott falling backwards as he plucked it. No.
He had it, but I think it came off opponent's hands.
And the ball will be balled up. 15 metres out from goal.
So up they go. A chance here for the Hawks. One down and Bates will stream away from defence for the Giants. Kicking outside the defensive 50, straight into the lap of Maguire. Takes the mark, sends it back to centre half forward. Ward's dropped an absolute sitter. Back to Bates for the Giants, who just spirals it outside the defensive 50, out toward the eastern wing. Track down out there, handball back in field from Jason Porter. Got it across to Hitchings. It's cut off by Rollerson. And now the Giants come bursting back the other way. Johns doesn't have a lot inside the forward 50. Kicks to the lead of Scragg, who pulls it into his chest. 40 from home, slide angle, lays it off into the pocket and finds Plyer. In fact, it's Walker who's drifted all the way down the ground. And Matt Walker has got the footy, 40 from home. Tough angle to the right of centre.
Yes, this will test Matty Walker, but it's a goal that he is capable of kicking.
1 point lead to the Giants before the kick. Matt Walker, plenty of experience. How cool's the head with the finish? It's across the face and it's slapped through by Declan Wagstaff for a minor score. So 2 points is the spread. 6-14 plays 7-6, 8 minutes through the final term.
Yes, I like the way Talbot's going about this final quarter. They're attacking the football. They're running the football quick and making the Giants work hard.
So they've worked it up towards centre wing on the far side here, and the Giants will turn it over and send it back inside forward 50, where the boundary umpire will take possession. 25 metres out from goal. Deep inside forward 50. You feel like a goal here for the Giants would be absolutely massive in the outcome of this game. Trying to get the kick out of the pack was Wagstaff, but it was smothered. As a result, Talbot have got numbers. It comes with York. York handball wide. Umpires pulled a free kick.
Yeah,
Might have been for a throw.
No, holding the man.
Holding the man.
Yes, the Talbot player Page was thrown to the ground after he got rid of the ball.
So it will be a free kick. Full-time score in the HDFL, Huntley 9-8-62, White Hills 19-14-128, running out comfortable victors there. Thanks to Adam Veach for all his updates out there at White Hills. As Talbot will work the ball down the far wing. Just trying to maintain some possession at the moment. Into the centre of the ground they'll go.
Good grab.
Good grab taken. Right in the middle of the ground. Now they'll quickly wheel out wide. Got numbers through the middle. They can roll it inside forward 50, the Hawks. Out the back is Scott. Can he get there? Got hands to it. Couldn't quite mark it. Spills to ground. Maguire is lurking. Giants here. Patterson's got a few players around him. He kicks wide. Umpires pulled a free. Both sets of players are looking around asking what the free kick is for. And after all that, it is going to be a Giants ball, Norm.
It is a Giants ball, and we've got more Giants players down cramping. Epworth's down trying to stretch the cramp out at present. So the Giants need a goal to give them a little buffer in this contest.
Almost like an inadvertent whistle. I'm not really sure what went on there. Koreski came over the top of the pack.
Should be a free for an indiscriminate
I think it will
attempt.
be.
And 50 metres.
I think it will be. Rollerson.
And it should be 50 metres. Rollerson put the ball on the boot and kicked it, and he should not have.
In fairness, the umpire hadn't actually made the call. He hadn't even got to the contest. So I think that's where they've sort of given the discretion to Rollerson on that occasion. Here's Page. Koreski, the infringer, can't chase him down. Page goes inside forward 50 for the Hawks. A bouncing ball out toward the boundary line is seen across and out. It'll be thrown back into play. 35 metres around from the Talbot goal. It is a 2-point Maryborough Giants lead. 10.5 minutes gone in this final term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Boundary umpire will come in. About 10 metres from the boundary. The young umpire throws it in. Beautiful looking throw in. Goes up. It's going to be kicked out of the pack. That came from Barras. It bounces towards the top of the square. Getting back is Walker for the Giants. He then fires the kick on his right boot. Hard up against the boundary line. No mark taken. Ball spills to ground. And I think the umpire will take possession of this ball. Far side of the ground here. In front of a pretty good crowd on a historic day in the MCDFNL. As the newly formed Maryborough Giants look to take a victory in their first ever game. Ball spilling forward. Calls to hold it in, but they try and fire it out wide.
That's a throw.
No one able to take any clean possession, and I think the umpire spotted that as well, Norm.
Yes, and just
And
looking
it's
in,
going to be a shot
in
for goal.
backfield, Jack Broad's done all the ruck work for the Giants today, and he's been down stretching those hamstrings and trying to break a cramp as well.
And after all that, Luke Kemp will end up with possession of the ball. He then chips into the pocket, nicely done, and steaming out and taking a mark on his chest for the Hawks. And will result in an important shot for goal, which will be taken by Jason Atkins.
Yes, and as we saw in the first quarter, he was deadly in front of goal. He had one chance and he made the most of it from an angle up the other end of the ground.
So Atkins has it. Can line up for goal. 10 metres in from the boundary. He comes in on the right. And it is through for a minor score. So the lead is in for Talbot.
No, there's no lead. All square now.
All square. And we have played 12 and a half minutes in the final quarter. Jason Westcott, builder, score sponsor, local footy, lives at Fresh Bendigo.
I've got it at a point still.
The point still.
So I've got 2 behinds to the Giants in this term, and 2 behind, and a goal, and 1 goal, 1 to the Hawks.
Oh, right.
That's just
Yeah.
where I've got things standing at the moment. But I'm.
Well, it'll be interesting because you said the scoreboard's got to be on target. Well, the scoreboard's got it 7-7 to 6-13, 49 apiece.
So it should be.
I think they
Should
missed
be
that
7-7 to
the
6-4,
point
and they
early in
missed the
quarter.
first point of the
right.
quarter that Rollerson kicked for
Yep.
the Giants. So it should be the Giants by a point.
Yeah, which is what I have.
So Maguire sends it out wide for Kemp. Kemp with a bouncing ball out toward half forward for the Hawks. Feeds it forward by hand to Griffiths. Pokes it inside the 50 through the hands of York. Charging out from fullback, taking it. Oh, it was Howell for the Giants. He had it and lost it. Still in the hands of the Hawks across half forward. They fight hard. Tui's dragged down. He threw it. Umpire said he threw it. And it'll be a free kick at centre half back for the Giants, but it's an awful kick straight to Page. Page inside the forward 50 for Talbot.
Cody Wright was out there, Norm, if he was able to take that.
He was, but it was a poor kick. You can't lean back and try and kick the ball forward.
Dylan Page from 52 metres out sends it to full forward. Scott's there. Big fly in front for the Giants. Scott dives over the top of the pack. They desperately fly in. Scott flings himself back to try and earn a free kick. Umpire's not having it. And a ball in. Deep forward, right forward pocket. It is the Hawks into attack. They trail by a point. We're 15 minutes through the last quarter.
And we could have a little hold up here because we have a Giant down having work done on a cramp. And it was good to see that the Talbot opposition player helped for starters. There was the teammate and the opposition to try and get him up and get him going. And it's not good signs for the Giants at this stage. They need to score down the other end of the ground to continue to assert their authority on this game.
It's the runner out there doing the work, and the umpire is signalling as if to give him the hurry up.
He wants him to hurry up, get him off the ground and another player on, but of course he's got to go off through the interchange or he won't be allowed back again.
Are they calling for a stretcher here?
Well,
I saw the umpire put his arms out flat, so might be a
No,
little
no.
bit more to this.
That's a stretcher.
Sure, what the umpire said,
stretcher's
put his
crossed.
arms out.
He's telling him he's got to get off the ground or
I think it's Declan Bates who had the same issue at three-quarter time, was getting some work done.
yeah.
Saw the umpire signalling towards the benches. And hasn't gone off yet.
No, he's not going to go off. He's going to stay on.
After all that, the ball's thrown back into play. Bates tried to take it out of the ruck for the Giants. He fell over in the process and brought the ball down with him. Get a ball up. 25 metres out. So we'll do it all again, but instead of a boundary throw in, it'll be the umpire throwing the ball up. Top of the goal square, the Hawks. They trail this by 1 point, but they're deep inside forward 50. Here's a chance, roving the pack. Forced a handball back inside. Page has got it. Couldn't step one way. Giants will intercept it with Howe. Howe's taken over the boundary line. Some prize for ball. Umpire says no. Throw it back in.
So the Hawks are pressing. Can they strike a blow late here? 16 minutes gone, final term. Ball tossed back in. Free kick off the footy. Which way is it going to go? It's going to go to Brown and Gold.
Atkins.
It'll be a Talbot free kick.
Yeah, Jason Atkins. He was pulled off the ball as he went to run.
A point the margin, the way of the Giants.
Going to Kemp.
And it is going to Kemp.
I reckon it was for Aikens, but I reckon he ran away and then Kemp was the one that ended up with the footy.
So Luke Kemp kicked 6 goals from 15 games last season. An experienced campaigner for the Hawks. He's played so much footy for this club. He won't have had many more important kicks than this. It's on the way and it's there! Luke Kemp strikes an almighty blow. And Talbot are back in charge of the ball game. Hawks by 5, 8-7-55. The Giants 6-14-50. We've played 17 minutes in the final term. Score sponsor Parsons towing Castlemaine. It's going right down to the wire, Norm.
It is going down to the wire, Joel. And the Giants, how will they respond? They've got to get this centre takeaway. They've got to get it into their forward line. And they need their forwards to be in front because as you get more weary as the day goes on, you don't kick as far. And it'll be interesting to see how they go.
In the middle we go. Ball thrown up. Talbot go up unopposed in the ruck. They'll work it out wide. Bouncing ball, unable to take clean possession there was Reece Egan. It's picked up by Cody Wright. Can he bring some magic in the last few minutes of this game? Ball goes forward. Down towards the top of the 50. Jareski's there. He's dived on top of the footy. And the umpire says, I'll have it. We'll ball it up.
Yes, he's a man on a mission, Kieran Jareski, after that indiscretion when he leapt into the pack earlier in this quarter. He wants to make amends.
Thrown up, they will rove the ball. It's sent forward from Zane Earl. It swings in the breeze, no one able to take it. Goreski's got it, fires it goalwards. He may have kicked the goal, he has! Big goal for the Giants! And it is Carson Goreski right on cue, Norm. So they get the lead back. 7-14. 56, plays 8-7-55, 18 and a half minutes gone in the final quarter. Bendigo City Framers, score sponsor, local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, that was excellent work by Carson Goreski there. His attack on the football when it first came into the forward line was great. He helped keep the ball in and then he was in the right spot. He was at the drop of the ball, front of the pack, got ball to boot quick and put it through, and you could see that he wanted to do that because he felt he'd let the boys down earlier in the quarter, and he showed that straight after the incident where he let them down, and it was great to see that he's been able to do that, and great to see that the scoreboard is back to the right score.
Yep, he owed them one, did Goreski, and so the Giants are able to find the response when they need it. We tick almost into time on in this final quarter here at Hedges Oval. The first outing for this newly formed club. Free kick will go to Cody Wright here. Page just held on for a little bit too long. And Wright, who's been a dominant force for the Giants this afternoon, takes it alongside the centre circles. Long kick inside the forward 50. Bond the target. Severino right there with him. Spills to Marshall of the Hawks. His kick smothered. Bond slaps it back. Goreski picks it up. Throws it on the boot and kicks another miracle goal. Carson Goreski out of nowhere might have emerged as the match winner. 2 goals in a row. He's thrown that on his boot from 40 out and it's spiralled through. And all of a sudden, in a matter of moments, the Giants are up by 7. 8-14-62. The Hawks 8-7-55. We played 20 minutes in the final term. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder. 7 points, the Giants lead.
Excellent double effort there from Carson Jareski. He was the one that got the hand in and smothered the kick out of defence from the Talbot boy. He was then able to follow it up in a lovely torpedo.
Big moments in the game. Ball goes up. Oh, Wright has just been bumped hard. All fair. Talbot will then take the clearance. They'll send it inside forward 50. No mark taken. It spills forward. Can they find a way through? Handball just popped out the back. Diving on top of the ball was Walker for the Giants. And, well, the umpire's gone and they're going to have it balled up. 55 out from home. Talbot must simply score next and quickly. They trail by 7 points. We're into red time. Going forward, they will come wide. Here's a chance for Page. Page's kick. It's a little tumbler inside forward 50. It might bounce for Atkins. Atkins picks it up. He runs inside. On the right. Steadies. Goals. This is an absolute cracking game of footy. Atkins brings it back to 1 point. And you can hear the nervousness in the crowd around the ground. Talbot get a response. 9-7-61. The Giants 8-14-62. 21 and a half gone in the final quarter. Score sponsor, JB Re-Stumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, good work by young Atkins then. He was able to turn his opposition player around, run onto the
What
ball.
it's got now, used by a point.
Run onto the ball and he was able to make no mistake.
So ball back in the middle. 1 point the ball game. Who can rise to the moment now? Almost the clearance for the Giants. Coming through was Earl. He was dispossessed. Free kick to the Hawks. Page will load up and go long inside the forward 50. Scott's the target. Oh, he's pulled it out of the air. That is an extraordinary mark. He got sandwiched between two Giants defenders and Adam Scott has straight plucked it out of the sky. 40 metres out, slight angle right of centre. This is a massive kick. Scott's got 2 in the second half. Adam Scott tees it up and he misses it to the right. He misses it to the right and he ties the scores. 9-8-62, plays 8-14-62. Scores tied, 23 minutes played, final turn.
Bringing the ball back into play will be Walker. He plays on and then it sends it down the broadcast side wing. Pack flies. Here's a chance for the Giants to try and work it forward. Maybe could have forced a kick. It spills to Maguire. Maguire's tackled. Umpire says tackled high. Cody Wright, the offender. So Maguire will get it. He can wheel around onto his right foot. Sends a high ball. Scott's going to come out and try and take it again. Ball spills to the ground. They just have to find a way forward and score. It's in the hands of Tui. It comes back. Inside they go. No one able to take the mark. It's going to stay in play here. Here's a chance for Page. Page from nowhere to the top of the square. Unable to take it. Spinning around. Desperate defence from the Giants on the last line. And they are rewarded. Absolute astonishing defence. A magnificent tackle from Matt Walker. May have just saved the game for the Giants.
So Walker's got her in the defensive goal square. He plays on and kicks long to half back, turns it over. Severino chops it off. He sends it back inside the 50 for the Hawks. Atkins slides in, can't take the mark. Walker comes in over the top. He's given away a free kick. And the free kick will go to Atkins for Talbot. Scores tied deep in the last. And Jason Atkins has got her in the left forward pocket. 8-14 plays 9-8. 40 metres from home. Tied up against the boundary line. Atkins stands hunched over it as he pushes the ball down into his thighs and begins his approach. Any score will give Talbot the lead. Right foot kick on the way. He misses it, but it's enough to hand the Hawks a 1 point advantage. 25 and a half gone final term. Hawks by 1.
What a turn of events. The Giants will work the ball into the middle. Bounced off the chest of Severino, but the Giants will get it. They'll send it towards centre half forward. Flight, no mark taken. It spills. Talbot will work the ball back into the middle. It's in the hands of Ward. Ward's got it, and Ward gave it to a teammate. And in fact, Ward's being collected high. He gets the free. He sends it right to Bradley Dunbar. Dunbar's got it. Teammates telling him to slow things down here. Right in front of our broadcast position. Hawks by a point. 25 gone. Final quarter. High ball inside forward 50. Coming out with Scott. Right set himself. Off hands. Over the boundary line it goes. And we'll get it thrown in. 60 out from goal for Talbot. Leading by a point. This has been a fascinating game of footy. Plenty of lead changes in this final quarter, Joel.
It has been, Cam. It's toed and froed. Talbot led early. The Giants have fought back. Broad takes it out of the ruck at half back for the Giants. Kicks it into the centre of the ground. Whelan turns defender. Hawks with numbers behind the footy. It's drinks at the last chance saloon now for Maryborough. Hitchings dumps it inside the forward 50. It'll come back though. Pryer's taken the mark. 45 from his defensive goal. Needs to go. Touched on the way through. It'll spill in the centre of the ground. Ward takes the mark. Well, what he thought was a mark. They dive on him immediately. And a ball up between centre half back and the centre. It's still in Talbot's attacking half, but there might yet be time left for the Giants.
Can't be long left. Huge clearance this one. Talbot get it. Happy to see it to the bottom of the pack is Ward. And Talbot will just be content to chew seconds off the clock here.
1 point the margin, Cam.
You just feel like this script hasn't quite finished. There is something left in this one. Ball going up. Trying to knock it forward there was Broad. It comes to a teammate. They fire it up towards centre half. No mark taken from Patterson. It dribbles around. Umpire quickly crosses his arms. Wasting no time. Says, I'll ball it up. 60 out from home. Can the Giants work it forward and find themselves a winner?
Osborne, he got dragged out of the ruck.
Ridiculous by the Giants ruckman then.
Just needed to keep a cooler head. And Osborne for the Hawks comes across the back 50. Ward's got it. He puts a hand up and says, let's pump the brakes. He chips it defensively to Dunbar. Mark not paid. Took it off the ground. He kicks down the line and he's put it straight down the throat of Bravo. Needs to roll and send it inside the 50. Bond's right there. Kick on his head. Spills out toward Whelan. Just over the boundary line it spills and it'll be tossed back in. Near the junction of the 50 and the boundary. Giants into attack. They trail by a point. We've played 28 and a half in the final term.
The longest quarter we've had so far today. Inside. Talbot will work. Can they get this kick forward? Oh, unable to take position. Here's a chance for the Giants. It's in the hands of Govan. And Talbot, they're able to turn it over into the middle, but there's a couple of Giants there. They might get one more chance if Bates is clean. It bounces around. Bates is clean. He wheels through the middle of the ground, sends it towards centre half forward. Good important fist came from Barras for Talbot. He's in there diving. It's sent forward by Bates, bouncing around. Wright's got it. Sending it towards the top of the square.
I think you'll find the siren's gone, but
I think
the
the
umpires
siren
haven't heard
has
it.
gone. That's what I thought I heard too, Norm. Like that would have been a massive drama if it had been a Giants player take that mark then. But the siren has sounded. Country footy, you've got to love it. And the newly formed Maryborough Giants have lost no admirers this afternoon. Their first game ends in defeat.
They probably want to wait on the scoreboard just to check with the umpires. They've got the right score, don't they? Don't take the score down yet over there on the scoreboard.
I'm fairly certain that Talbot have won by a point.
9-9-63 to 8-14-62.
Could you imagine if you had a Giants player took that mark and went back for the shot?
We had a bit of everything at Hedges Oval this afternoon. It was a wild old day. It was a classic round one encounter. It was a scrappy old affair, but it went right down to the wire. The last forward 50 entry of the game.
Taking the scores down before the umpires have actually waited.
Yep, that's right.
And Talbot has emerged round one winners in fascinating circumstances. 9-9-63 to 8-14-62. They kicked 3 goals in that final term, the Hawks. The Giants kicking 2, but not able to get across the line. Maryborough, they found themselves 7 points to the good in that term.
Who would have thought that after Jareski kicked those 2 goals, Joel, you would have thought the Giants, and then what a game.
Absolutely incredible stuff.
for the Hawks. 2 goals to Adam Scott, 2 goals to Jason Atkins, singles to Kemp, to Marshall. Kemp kicked the match winner in the end. Atkins kicked the score that put them a couple of points to the good. Tui kicked the goal and Darcy Osborne kicked a goal. Carson Goreschke kicked 2 in our last quarter cameo that brought the Giants back into the contest. 2 goals also to Mitch Whelan for the host. Singles to Murray Bond, to Jacob Rollison, to Chris Scragg and to Talbot Varco in the opening term. Gee, Norm, that was an extraordinary finish.
It was an extraordinary finish, Joel, and you know, the crowd got involved, and that was why we had the finish we had, because the crowd got involved. Nobody could hear the siren. I thought I'd heard the siren go, but play continued on, and I thought, well, it can't have been. But then the boundary umpire raced out to let the central umpires know that the siren had gone, and at least it prevailed that, as you say, the umpire the mark went Talbot's way, but had it gone the other way, would have the umpires allowed, because the siren, the game doesn't finish until the central umpire hears the siren.
Correct. So halfway through that last little bit of passage of play there, Norm, a couple of Talbot people started jumping up in front of me. I thought I heard it, and I was just like, well, they're not celebrating if the Giants have got the ball at the minute, so... But what a game of footy, and I tell you what, if that's the first game that we've dished up this year, I can't wait for what this season is going to bring up.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean it's a hell of a way to start off the tenure of the Maryborough Giants in the MCDFNL. You couldn't have asked for more value. That's for sure. Who impressed you for the Hawks, Norm?
For the Hawks today, I liked young Darcy Osborne in the ruck and up forward. He gave them a focal point when he went down forward, and he was very competitive against Broad in the ruck, but I thought Jack Broad won the ruck. Adam Scott down back early, and he went forward after half time, kicked 2 goals and was also a focal point up there. Could have had another couple. We saw him almost take the mark of the day there in the last quarter, wasn't able to hold on to it. Trent Barras down back, he stood firm in that last quarter when required. That last passage of play to get the ball up here to give Talbot the chance. It was Barras who on 3 occasions was able to get into the play, knock the ball forward and then get a kick at the end. I like the way Griffiths went about it too, and Atkins up forward, the 2 small forwards, they got a lot of the football. Kemp worked his way into the game and was very good late in the game, and Reece Egan for probably 3 of the 4 quarters was in the Hawks' best as well.
Cam?